So as far as the third world aristocrat video from today goes, I gotta say, huge win for the toe and a stroke of genius on my part.
Mr. Radio Voice, he's doing his shows. He's roasting some ass and he's picking his nose. He speaks like a pro on the Steel Toe Show. He's making a mess and everyone knows. Ready or not, he already came. April is a hoe and she's snorting for fame. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. He spilled the beans. He's rooting for rage as he gets her thrice. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. He had a felony charge, but he's gonna walk. He's got a big mouth and he talks the talk. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. He's always a guest with Alex Stein. He's making a wish. He's taking his time. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. Oh, hip hop dibbity dap to the wop 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 wop. Hong dong whittle dangle wang. Oh, he sang dooley mama splatting your hat. Doo to poot cakes.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Steel Toe Evening Show. It's the nighttime one. I went with the old Vikings hoodie. I know it's Timberwolves season, and we are going to the NBA Finals. Look, I got a lot of shit from people for pronouncing the death of the Oklahoma City Thunder when they went down 2-1 to Denver. But that's only because it was all cope. I just really wanted Denver to win because I thought they were more beatable for us. OKC scares me, dude. They run. They're fast. They're all black and shit. I want to be the black team. I wanted to play the Nuggets. They're the white guys. That Brown and Jokic. I don't want to play a bunch of black dudes with headbands on. It's bullshit. I want to, we do very well against the white guys. Luka, and then who's that smarmy little white fuck who played for Golden State? I hated that guy, the douchebag from Wichita State. And then we could have played Jokic. Now we got to play a bunch of black dudes. That's not good. That doesn't help me. That does not help me playing a bunch of black guys. But here we are. If we want to go to the NBA Finals and beat Karl Anthony Towns for the title, then we have to beat Oklahoma City. So I say let's do it in 4 games and just be done with it. We do have a great show tonight. Plenty of stuff to talk about. The Joe Biden stuff. Dilbert's got cancer now. Everybody's copying Joe Biden. We got some Dave Portnoy stuff. Speaking of basketball, race relations in the WNBA, apparently leading to a civil war. It's more press than the WNBA's ever gotten. That Caitlin Clark is a godsend for that league. But, every Hulk Hogan needs an Andre the Giant. Every Austin needs a McMahon. And for her, it's that Angel Reese. Oh, my God. It's like the Black Panthers versus the Klan in the WNBA. There's a lot of talk about, it's funny because when it was Magic and Bird, and I think this speaks to race relations in the United States, a lot of people think that they're better than they were in, say, like the early 90s. But, in the early 90s and in the 90s when I was a kid, you could joke, like black people and white people could joke with each other about race. And they still can, like in private. But like publicly, it could be part of this shit talk. Like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, they literally, they called Magic and the Lakers Showtime. Like it was like, hey, Showtime, we're black, we got flavor, we're flashy. And do you know what they called Larry Bird? For my fellow old people, what was Larry Bird's nickname? Larry Bird's nickname was if some of you are going to know, if you don't, I'm going to feel like the biggest dork in the universe. Larry Bird's nickname was the Hick from French Lick. So the Lakers were Showtime. The Pistons were the Bad Boys. And Larry Bird and the Celtics, the whitest team ever with Kevin McHale and a few others, the Hick from French Lick. So like it was part of the shit talk between him and Magic and him and Jordan was Larry was a white boy. Now it's a fucking race war in the WNBA because you have a really good white player and a really good black player. We'll get to all that. There's a lot of comedy in there, in my humble opinion. And we do have a Johnny up. No, Jesus. Okay, I'm going to the Rumble chat and looking at some of their ideas for what Larry Bird's nickname was. It was not N-word boy. That was not. Why would they call Larry Bird the N-word? Taste Fairy Ialto says, was it the Great White Hope? No, that's what you thought of him as. But no, it was the Hick from French Lick. He was from French Lick, Indiana. And he basically had the most white boy nickname that you could possibly have. Red Fox Mad with $4.99, starting us off tonight. Thank you. I like that when you guys donate before we really even get into the show. It shows that you have faith in me that the show's going to be good. As misplaced as that belief is, believe me, I do appreciate it. Doo-doo Poot Cakes. Oh, I'm sorry, Red Fox Mad with $4.99 first. Let's do that one. Says, how is my boy Johnny doing? Does he need any help? I would be more than willing to help Johnny with anything he needs. Well, in terms of the medical stuff, he does have like the disability, Medicaid, Medicare. So as far as medical goes, like that's all good. Anything else that he might need, I'm sure he'll let us know about that. Doo-doo Poot Cakes with $2 says, sing it. Another $2 from Doo-doo Poot Cakes says, race war. You remember when you said you wanted to do that? No, I don't. I don't remember saying that. What is she? Is she Italian? Nah, I don't get her. No, you want to get her? No, you like her. Ryan the Garbage Man says, Charles Barkley was the round mound of rebound. Yes, Ryan, but I don't think we need to go over every professional basketball player's nickname. I don't think that's necessary. I'm like, hey, his name was the Hick from French Lick, and now all of his... You know what sucks about that now? I said that, so now everybody in the chat is just going to start naming random athletes' nicknames. Let's go to Buffalo Jockey with $5. He says, welcome to the Steel Toe Morning Show, where Aaron reminisces about the good old days where racism was acceptable in the NBA. It was a better time when we could call the white players Hicks and the black players, basically minstrel shows. We got along better. Now everybody worries, am I offending this black person? And everything that white people think is going to offend black people don't give a shit about. And all the shit black people get angry about white people about, most white people don't believe in. So now we're all just tiptoeing around each other and we believe in, what the media tells us about each other instead of seeing each other and being like, hey, honky, and you'd be like, hey, and that was race relations. Everybody knew where, and you knew where you were then. Girls were girls and men were men. Renegger says the FCC was created because of minstrel shows. No, the FCC was made to regulate radio frequencies. It didn't get into moderating content until Carlin v. Pacifica. That was the Supreme Court case that George Carlin was involved in that made it. Carlin lost, and that's what allowed the FCC to then regulate indecent. God damn it! They could regulate indecency, and oh god, it was two categories. It wasn't vulgarity, but it was something like that. And that wasn't until 1977, somewhere around there. Carlin v. Pacifica. Look at me being a law tuber now. Look at this. I'm knowing my shit. Carlin v. Pacifica was FCC versus Pacifica. I'm sorry, it's 1978. It was because of the 730 words you can't say on television, indecency, and it could have been homosexuality. No, I'm kidding, of course. Regulate broadcast media, setting the precedent. Oh, no, it was just indecency. Never mind. Regulate indecent content. And what really sucked about that was, guess who got to decide what was indecent? There were two things. One, the FCC, and two, community standards. So, like, what was seen as indecent in Tupelo, Mississippi may not be indecent in New York City. It's the dumbest fucking rule ever. Really. Triple N says, today on Aaron poorly recounts history. I mean, look, he ain't wrong, right? I'm mildly misremembering. Buffalo Jockey with $1 says, call darkies anything you want except neighbors. 2025 still accepts racism. Jesus. All right, guys, let's get into tonight's show. We do have to start with a Johnny update. I did get a text from Johnny today during the show. He was on his way to the hospital. And I did ask him after the show, I was like, can I pick you up? He's like, no, because I need to be carried and I need to be transported. And so his legs weren't working and he needed professionals basically to come get him. So he went to the hospital today and they found out that there was an infection in his leg and it's working its way up his leg. When you have things like MS and it stops you from using your legs a lot, they're not as active. You don't get that blood flow. You're susceptible to shit like that. So he has an infection working his way up his leg, and they're going to keep him there for at least a couple of days, and they're going to monitor him. They've got him on antibiotics. They're going to see if they can flush out that infection. He seems okay. He has his mind on work. He's like, I'll try to get my laptop in here, and I'll try to come on. I'm like, just fucking rest, It's always appreciated when you have those kind of people, but you also have to kind of save them from themselves because they don't want to be seen as like lazy or anything like that. But it's like, bro, just rest up. I don't need you, getting on a laptop and yapping, and then, who knows what the fuck can happen. Rest, get that infection out of the leg, come back when you can. We'll promote the GoFundMe and all that. We were supposed to promote the GoFundMe this week on the show, but obviously he's not going to be here. So we'll continue to do that. But our options for Thursday and Friday are still Keanu wants to host the show Thursday and Friday. So we may have Keanu teamed up with Gino to do the shows Thursday and Friday while I'm gone. We can still do that. If Johnny miraculously gets better, we'll still go with him as option one, but Keanu and Gino today did express an interest in covering when I asked them. So not too much to update you on. Johnny's in the hospital. He did send me a picture of the infection of his leg. I'm not going to show it on here. It's, mild. I would classify it as mildly graphic. I don't think it's appropriate. It's also, in the hospital. I didn't ask him if I could show it. And you know me, I don't want to show you guys any pictures unless I have expressed written consent from Major League Baseball. So yeah, Johnny's got the leg infection. You don't ask a guy like, dude, do you think you're gonna lose it? Like, you don't want to be the guy who says dumb, retarded shit. You just be supportive. So don't ask me if, could he lose it? Could he not? He hasn't told me that that's a possibility. Right now, it's just antibiotics. When he showed me the picture, his leg looks swollen. It does look puffy. And hopefully those antibiotics work and he'll be out of the hospital in a couple days here. And hopefully it's just a minor setback. No, Pen 15. Johnny does not have cancer. Red Fox Mad with $4.99 says, does Johnny have a GoFundMe? Yeah, guys, throw that up in the chat if you could. I would appreciate it if you would throw, because Johnny's got to move out in September. And, I know he's a proud guy, but, he is completely disabled. I can't imagine he couldn't get, vouchers and help and assistance and all that. So hopefully Johnny's back very, very soon. But I think, number one, it's about taking care of that infection, getting that all set to go. I have no timetable on his return. Obviously, he's got extra time with us being gone until Tuesday after Wednesday. No pressure on him to come in and do Thursday and Friday. In fact, I would recommend against it and let him rest up. Renegger with $1 says Johnny's third leg got infected by that dirty digger. No, it is not a penile injury, and it was not caused by digger. Thank you very much. It is not caused by digger. Chad Buzamok says, prayers for Johnny. Why do bad things always happen to the good guys like Johnny and not to Aaron? What else do you want? Do you want blood? Is that what you want? Would you like blood? Take it. How much do you need? Take my life's blood. Renegger says, if you let on Kiki, I will call you a slur. Renegger, here's the problem you have, buddy. Here's the tightrope you're walking. When don't you? You have nothing to threaten me with. Triple N says, sounds kind of metal, to be honest. I mean, really, I was thinking today, I was like, if the antibiotics go through and they clear up the leg infection, yeah, it's kind of metal. A little bit, you know. It's not something people would like. Bapa Shab says, Canada is going to stuff him in a van and take him to the S-word pod. No, they're not. Johnny does not live in Canada. Minnesota is not a Canadian province, and they are not going to make him part of the MAID program. All right? I'm telling you this right now. There is no MAID program here in the United States. Aaron, I just noticed you were outside, says Sam Show. You look like way more of an N-word today. I've been getting tanned. I've just been getting tanned, that's all. Getting ready for, to be not in the gay key. Brian says there is no shame in accepting help. He should seriously look into what state programs he qualifies for. I mean, Jesus Christ. If Johnny doesn't qualify for tax dollars, who the hell does? You know? You have multiple sclerosis. You've had it since you were at least 18 years old. You're about 40-some now. I mean, if Johnny, Brian said, if he doesn't qualify for a program, who the fuck does? You know? Jesus, Helgi, I'm not going to read that. I mean, I'm not going to stop you from joking, but Jesus Christ. You Need Me More with $1 says, just tuned in. Did you talk about Johnny yet? Yes, I just did. Leg infection. He's in the hospital. They've got him on antibiotics, and they're going to keep him that way for a couple of days and monitor him, see how it goes. $2 from Loaded Wrench says, send Gino the pics. No. I'm not going to send the Johnny pictures to Gino. Now, they're not sexual or anything like that, so, I mean, I could. I'm totally within my rights to send Gino the picture, but I'd like to practice, good habits. I'd like to show that I'm actually turning over a new leaf. Red Fox Mad with another $5 says Keanu has a nice OnlyFans page. She looks good naked. Everyone should check out her OnlyFans. If you could throw a couple bucks at Johnny's GoFundMe first, that would be all right. Go ahead and throw that GoFundMe link in the chat, guys. I know I'm sure Rusty has it and all those guys. Throw them up in all the chats. That would be nice. 170 away from tonight. Thank you guys very, very much for your generosity this evening. And I think if we go over the goal, everything on PayPal, Venmo, and Rumble should go to Johnny's GoFundMe. What do you think? If we go over tonight, we won't put it towards tomorrow night's show. We'll throw it in on that GoFundMe there. That sounds like a plan. I think it does. 170 away from tonight. Thank you guys very, very much. So that's the update. I'm sorry if you were looking for more. I don't know if you were thinking that we were going to have a bigger a bigger update for you. That's it. Leg infection. Hopefully it all goes well. And hopefully Johnny's back in no time, but we want him to get his rest. Thank you, Balls Deep, for putting the link to the GoFundMe in the chat. I appreciate that. Buzamak, if you want to pin that, you can. Thank you to Buffalo Jockey for gifting a membership, as well as Aboliticious. Thank you, guys. 160 away from tonight. And as I said, anything we go over, the PayPals, the Venmos, and the Rumbles, those will all go to Johnny's GoFundMe. MSO got a membership, and Aboliticious got a membership. Thank you very much. Yeah, Buzamak, I would love to do that, but we got to break even here too. I mean, that's still the case. Thank you to Red Fox Mad for $1.99. He says prayers for a fast recovery for Johnny. Absolutely. All right. Well, so I don't have like terribly tragic, awful, world-shattering news. I think that's a good thing. The bad news is that it's really just a wait-and-see game at this point. $1 from Eric on PayPal. He says, if Johnny started sending you pictures of his cock, the world would end. I just want to say right now, you know how like people in court go like, what was his name? The guy who faked the racial attack, Smollett. Remember when Smollett was like, I'm not suicidal. I'm not suicidal. You know, that's what people say when they are worried the Clintons are going to kill them. Let me just say this. I want to go on record right now as saying, I do not want any penis pictures from Johnny. Is that, and I really need you guys to believe me. I really need you to believe. It's very important that you believe me that I don't want to see his penis. I've made it this long without seeing his penis. I'd like to make it the rest of my life. No, Chad Buzamak, there is no need for you to clip that. Fake Corey Adam with $1.99 says, I can help Thursday or Friday. If real Corey Adam wanted to help Thursday and Friday, that would be my first choice. I would love that. Buzamak, thank you. He says, understood. Any over, I'm sure, is much appreciated by Johnny. Yeah. I mean, honestly, the evening show audience knocks it out all the time, so I think... you know what? Here's what I'll do. Anything we go over, I'll still honor for tomorrow, and then I'll just take whatever that over is and also throw it at that GoFundMe, either tonight or this week. Either one. We'll do it either after each night or at the end of the week. My Lost Interest says, no penis pictures. Wink, wink. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm literally saying I do not want any pictures of Johnny's penis. None. Zero. It would be really great if we didn't pretend that I was joking. If we didn't pretend that, like, I'm being 100% serious. I don't want them. This isn't like when I snap my fingers, you'll forget that you were ever gay thing. That's not what it is. I'm literally not asking for it. Thank you. Thank you for your time and your consideration. Red Fox Mad with $1.99 says, I bet Johnny has a nice big fat penis. No, you're just trying to get me to read super chats that Chad Buzamak can then clip and then put up on Twitter. I'm not falling for this. And no, I lost interest. I am not asking for penis drawings either. Doodoo Poot Cakes with $2 says, no Pen 15 pictures, please. Thank you. Thank you. This guy gets it. Now can we move on? Now that you guys have all bastardized and made this Johnny thing a filthy, disgusting, tawdry ordeal, do you mind if we move on to the rest of the show? You filthy, filthy demons. Aaron, did you see any of the Fortnite AI Darth Vader stuff? Turns out Darth Vader is racist. No, I have no idea what you're talking about. Links, or it didn't happen. Dusty Rhodes says, fuck that. Any overage you need to keep for vacation recovery. That's like the shittiest, meanest thing you could possibly say. No, the overage is going to go. We're going to make what we need to make to do our little program. We don't need to keep the over. It can go to Johnny. K-Fall the Great with $5 and a GoFundMe. It's not, can we hold a bake / exotic meat / gorilla milk sale to raise money for Johnny? We don't need to do that. Buffalo Jockey with $1 says, you want D-picks, just not D-picks from Johnny. You hate cripples and vets now. See, I have to reread your guys' shit. Dusty Rhodes, you are a piece of shit, baby. 155 away from tonight. Thank you guys very much for the contributions. All right, on we go. Let's talk about the most exciting thing going on in the news right now, and that is women playing basketball. Who doesn't love it? Did you guys see the clip that's gone viral of Caitlin Clark fouling Angel Reece, and it apparently started a racial problem in the United States? Oh, I just saw Stalin 19 has a clip of Kevin Brennan saying that Anthony Cumia is mailing it in. Uh-oh, shit talk time. All those Dabbleverse podcasts are dropping viewers and money, so now they need to create new drama. Could you imagine having to do that? The Angel Reece, Caitlin Clark thing is, I mean, it just shows how much different women's basketball and men's basketball is. Because in men's basketball, if there's a hard foul, fuck it. It's part of the game. If women's basketball, there's a hard foul, it's race relations. It's, oh my God, the white girl hammered. Do you remember last year when Caitlin Clark was getting her fucking head handed to her every time she went in the lane? Every time she got the ball, they were chopping one of her fucking arms off. And that was just, that's the way it is for a rookie. That's the way you got to get welcomed into the league. You know, she basically got turned into prison bitch every time she drove the lane. Now she does a little smackaroo on Angel Reece, and oh my God, it's a lynching. We've got another angle of this. Let's show the highlight first. This is Indiana, by the way, murdered Chicago.
Caitlin Clark pushes in.
So here we get the foul.
Strong on a three.
So that's all they show. Oh my God, look at that. Caitlin Clark's a bitch. She just hacked away at Angel Reece.
On a three. And look out, Caitlin Clark pushes Angel Reece, and Angel Reece gets right up into Caitlin Clark. Afterwards has something to say as Clark walks away. We know.
So that, oh my God, that Caitlin Clark, what a meanie bajini, all that white privilege just coming down and crashing in on Angel Reece. You know, it's really interesting that they decide to start the clip there. It's really interesting that they decide to start the clip where the white girl is hammering the shit out of the black girl. Would you guys like to see the whole play? Not HOLE. Would you like to see the entire play? Because it's not like Caitlin Clark just decided to hammer on Angel Reece. This was the entire sequence that led to that foul. Angel Reece clearly shoves Caitlin Clark's teammate trying to get a rebound. So then Caitlin Clark, to stand up for there, she complains to the ref. So to stand up for her teammate, she gives Angel Reece a receipt. Look at that. A forearm shove right to the back of her teammate. So Caitlin Clark goes, fuck you, and takes her down. That is a totally normal, totally fine competitive sports play. There's nothing racial about it. There's nothing rivalry about it. There's nothing anything about it. It's literally, it's just a point A to point B kind of a thing. It's just fuck around, find out. I mean, if the roles were reversed and Caitlin Clark shoved somebody and a black player came up and hammered her and sent her to the floor, it would be totally fine. Not only that, Angel Reece going to the floor after getting, her arms hacked like that, a little bit of a flop. In my opinion, she's selling just a little bit. Ryobi with $1 says, so Johnny is in the basement. Are the Jews in the attic? What the fuck is going on in that house? No, Johnny's in the hospital. $5 from Helgi. Thank you, Helgi, for the $5. Says, if I have one thing to say about Johnny's legs, it's this. Itengwambi Irie. Yes, we hope so. We hope so. I have a feeling the antibiotics are going to work just fine, and that Johnny's leg is going to go back to what it is, or what it was, so to speak. That puts us 150 away. If you just joined us, everything we go over today on PayPal, Venmo, and Rumble will go towards Johnny's GoFundMe. Pray by 12, becoming a member for 4 months, says, is someone with Johnny? I'm not sure. I'm sure he has family visiting him. There's only so much time you can be, depending on your relationship with the person, there's only certain hours that you could be at the hospital. Plus, I think when people have infections, they try to be really, really careful. That's not something they like to fuck around with. It's one of the, I shouldn't say this when Johnny's got an infection, but infection is one of the main causes of death in the hospital. So they would like to be careful with that. Chad Buzamok says, tagged you in the requested clip. I didn't request a clip. There was not a single clip that I requested today. I didn't ask you to show anything, but let's see what you've got. Let me just say this. I want to go on record right now as saying, I want any penis pictures from Johnny. No, there was a clear, you guys, again, you saw the edit. It's clear as day that there was an edit in that video. Say this, I want to go on record right now as saying, I want any penis. See, right there was a cut, a hard cut. I want any. It's right there. I want any penis. I want any penis pictures from Johnny. Is that, and I really need you guys to believe me. That he clearly edited that, and that was not what I said. Like, you can rewind this very episode, and you can see that I indeed did not say that. My lost interest says exactly how I remember it. Dusty Rhodes, is that true that Digger set up the GoFundMe? Yeah, but she's like, it's emptying into Johnny's bank account, right? Time out. Wait a minute. Time out. Is that... Does anybody who watches Johnny's show regularly, can they confirm that? She set that up to go into Johnny's account when it's over, right? I'm not saying Digger wouldn't. I'm just saying is that something I need to be informed of? Is this something I need to... I mean, I personally would feel a lot more comfortable if this went directly to Johnny and didn't go to someone else first. Not saying I don't trust her, not saying there's no reason not to trust her. I'm just saying I don't know this lady. I've talked to her on a live stream for a couple of minutes. I would really feel more comfortable if the account it went into just was directly Johnny's. And I would feel that way. Dude, if I set up the GoFundMe, I would feel better that way. I would feel better if it emptied right into Johnny's account rather than mine first and I give him something. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. Chad Buzamok says, if she is in fact running it, I don't know who is. All right, well, I hope Johnny's running it. That would be ideal as far as I'm concerned. I'm just weird. Look, I'm weird about shit like that. Again, I don't think anybody's doing anything wrong. I just know friends and money, loved ones and money, the less intertwining there is of funds and people who have genuine affection for each other, the less problems that you have. Should be good. But no, donate to Johnny's GoFundMe. Apparently he's got to move out in September. And he's looking to put some money together for that. And of course, any amount we go over tonight will go to Johnny's GoFundMe. We'll just we'll do our little break-even spiel of knocking out our goal, and then we won't take any of the extra for tonight. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Hit thumbs up, hit share, hit subscribe, hit follow. Our subscriber numbers up 111% from the previous month. Thank you so much. Everything else holding steady, which is wonderful. Keep it up, guys. We appreciate the support. So now the talking heads over on ESPN and everywhere else, they're getting all worked up. And, you know, ESPN secretly loves this kind of shit. You got a really famous white female basketball player, and then you've got a black talented female basketball player. So now all the talking heads, all the black people on ESPN can go, race. You know, it's funny. Anytime there's an argument to be had that could be skewed as racially included, the news and ESPN and the hot take people, they will beat it to death. And in the next voice, they'll be like, why does everything have to be about race? I don't know, because you make it that way, you disingenuous twats. Well, Stephen A. Smith apparently was not having it on ESPN today. Let's check out this little back and forth.
We should not judge women competing against one another differently than we would judge the men.
Yes.
I got y'all back on that. You ain't got to worry about that. Ain't no let nobody gonna do that.
But
All
can
right?
I ask a question?
Oh, my God. Bring back my old sports. Bring back men yelling at each other. There's something about just over each other, like it just sounds like a chainsaw going through a heavy log. Oh, my God. One more time.
On that, you ain't got to worry about that. Ain't no let nobody gonna do that.
But
All
can
right?
I ask a question?
I don't know. Do you feel it's necessary?
Or do you have more to say, Stephen?
Is that it?
Because I got a real question here, because this is trending yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So I want to know from the two of you, is this trending news because it's women being physical?
No,
or
it's 'cause of them.
Let me just call it what it is, a black and a white player.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. God forbid a white woman play like any other fucking player in the league. And by the way, Angel Reese made a dirty fucking play. It had nothing to do with black-white. Caitlin Clark was standing up for her black teammate. So cut it out with the race shit. And the problem is, there is no white guy with balls on any of these panels. Maybe in the NFL you got Dan Orlovsky. JJ Redick is coaching for the Lakers. JJ Redick has called out that race baiting shit. But the whole this whole race. I wish one time there was one fucking white person with a set of balls who would just go, cut the shit. You want this to be white-black because you don't like Caitlin Clark because she's white. Don't try to make this about Caitlin Clark being racist. You two are racist. You're the reason that this is a race-related issue. This is Caitlin Clark standing up for her black teammate. Cut the bullshit and let's talk about basketball.
No, I don't think
You're not going to see Mad Dog do it. Mad Dog's Jewish. He doesn't really feel an allegiance to Caitlin Clark in that way.
it's that. I think it's because people project what they want on each of them, and
Fair.
those are subjective ideas that they're projecting. If you're going and have this narrative that has been falsely built that people want to do certain things to Caitlin or do certain things to Angel, you're gonna take that moment and validate your opinion even though it's false. So to me,
So it's confirmation bias.
Yeah, it's confirmation. Thank you.
Okay, that's a good take. I like that take.
Yeah.
Let me answer that one.
Yes. Can we please hear from a man? I would appreciate that.
It's not about black and white. It's about that white player and that black player. Why? Because of the history that they had before they came to the WNBA. You see, it was all instigated. If Angel Reese was never in Caitlin Clark's face, taunting her.
Yeah. I mean, it's a rivalry. It's Magic and Bird all over again. Like, to try and make it race-related shows how hungry for controversy all of these people are and how badly they need a hot take to get their shows going. It's fucking basketball, man. This isn't a white-black thing. This has been going on forever. Hard fouls in the paint. If that's the case, I mean, Shaq's been whipped more than a runaway slave. And that wasn't... And that wasn't fucking, that didn't have anything to do with race or anything. They were just terrified of Shaq. That's all. They were just scared of the Shaq attack. Let's go to a couple of people here. Redbird with $5 says, you finally realize the truth. It's always been this homosexual. Wait, who's the homosexual now? We're talking about the WNBA. You're going to have to be more specific. Keanu with $10 says, I wouldn't be able to host your show without Gino. Your entire audience would hate it and mutiny. Also, I no longer have an OnlyFans. Donate to Johnny, you clowns. There's Keanu. Thank you so much. Well, you know, Keanu, you not having an OnlyFans anymore, depriving the world of butthole pics is, I'm sure, upsetting to a lot of people. But it's good that you found Christ and you and Melanie Mack can, work things out as sisters in Jesus. That's very nice. Sam Show says, no, don't listen to us, Keanu. We're sorry. Keanu, let me give you this, I guess, vote of confidence on you hosting the show, even if Gino's not with you. I'm going to tell you right now, forget what these people say. You hosting the show by yourself would be better than dead air. That is the hill I'm dying on. That is the defense I am going to give of Keanu. Her doing a show here on the Steel Toe channel is better than absolutely nothing. That's a compliment. I'm saying she's a net positive. So I will, I also think that's Keanu just trying to extort more money out of the offer. But again, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Many times I am wrong. 140 away from tonight's goal. And, of course, anything we go over, the PayPals, Venmos, Streamlabs, and Rumbles after that will go toward Johnny's GoFundMe. Gray Duckling with $10 says, Keanu, I only to see Gino's tits. My audience speaks such good English. Errands are always, I'm sorry, I fucked that one up now. Errands are way too saggy. Fuck you, dude. Mine are perky as shit. You know what? Now, I'm half inclined to fucking give that fuse a light and lift up and show you that my titties are indeed, up there. I don't, say whatever you want about me. Just make it factual. All right? Just make it don't lie. There's no reason to lie. Speaking of lying, by the way, that puts us 130 away from tonight. You guys are cooking. Thank you very much. Speaking of lying, a lot of talk around the Joe Biden cancer diagnosis. When did people know it? How long did they know it? How long was it being hidden from the American people? Now, normally I would say people's medical business is their business and we don't need to know. But when you're the president of the United States, I feel like we kind of have a right to know. And if you listen to people who have come out, talked about this kind of cancer, and a lot of people are today, as you know, it's prostate cancer that's spread to the bone. This cancer takes years to progress that far. A lot of people are theorizing that, a lot of experts are theorizing that Joe Biden could have had this cancer as early as 2021, 2022. Scott Adams, the guy who created Dilbert, he announced today that he has the same cancer Joe Biden does, story topper, and that he's not long for this world. And he's saying that he's known for some time. So there is a good chance that Joe Biden had this cancer, knew about it, and was still running the country. I feel terrible if that's the case, but I do feel like the American people, whether it's Trump, whether it's Obama, whether it's Biden, whether it's George Bush, whoever it is, Republican, Democrat, Independent, I feel like the American people have a right to know. There's no way that a guy who gets regular checkups like the president of the United States does, there's no way that they didn't spot this. There's no way that they didn't catch this until just now when it spread to the bones. I really don't think that this is something that Joe Biden's just figuring out now. Redbird with $5. Hold on, we got to update Redbird in the standings. Redbird is now at 88 because who was it who gave Redbird all of their money this morning? and now has him $12 away from Stephanie at 100. I can't remember who it was. But Redbird with $5 says, do I need to provide a better picture from this weekend's protest to prove they sag? They're not. They're not saggy. Oh, Silverwolf is the one who gave Redbird all of his money. Okay, there we go. That's what it was then. Yeah, so now Joe Biden, even liberals, like they're just throwing this guy under the bus. They are so... Remember for 4 years they protected this guy with the rumors of cognitive decline and all that. And now they just can't wait. They're worse than conservatives, man. All the conservatives I see talking about this, they're like, we wish Joe Biden the best. We hope Joe Biden has a quick recovery. The only people I've been hearing talking about cover-ups and shit like that is Democrats. I don't know why they have it out for this guy so bad. He dropped out of the race. Then his side lost the race. I mean, maybe they still blame him for Trump being in there. But, like, don't blame Joe Biden. Joe Biden this entire time has just been your pawn. You're the guys who put him there. You're the guys who lied your fucking asses off, protected him, coddled him. You guys are the Mickey to his Rocky in Rocky 3. They was handpicked. I mean, you guys covered up the real story behind a fucking pandemic to protect this guy. So don't sit here and shit on him now because he hid something from you. That's bullshit. You see, Jake Tapper's writing that book now. He's like, oh, tisk tisk on Joe Biden hiding all that cognitive decline from. Dude, we all saw it. We all saw it. You were willfully ignorant of it. They're actually making me a little sympathetic toward Joe Biden. This is a clip from today's Morning Joe.
Run for president for another 4 years. Obviously, the PS.
He's got a coat on. I trust him. If there's one thing we've learned in the last 5 years, it's that if a medical guy wears that coat, you know he's being truthful.
PSA exam is not 100% accurate, and I've never met a doctor that doesn't say you needed to do the PSA exam and also have the physical exam as well. I just find it hard to believe that any White House physician wouldn't say, okay, well, what my doctor and what every other doctor says, which is, okay, we've done the PSA test and that's fine, but at least once a year, we need to do a physical exam. Again,
they were, but you want to know what happened? They found out about the cancer, all right? They knew about the cancer. But you know what happened? Even if they told you fucking people about it, you still wouldn't report it because you were obsessed with beating Trump. You were obsessed with defeating Donald Trump. Do you think they, now it makes sense. Joe Biden being kicked out of the race as late in the game as he was with like 2-3 months left to go. That was because they knew about this cancer. And they couldn't risk it getting out as like an October surprise and then him really getting massacred at the polls. So you guys would have covered this up for him too because you're terrified of Donald Trump. He's your boogeyman. So I don't want to sit here and listen to the media clutch their pearls and talk about how, oh, I can't believe he didn't get checked more often. Oh, I can't believe they couldn't detect this earlier. What, like you would have blown the whistle on it and handed Trump the election? Bullshit.
Again, if you're just talking about a 78-year-old guy that is not running the free world, that's one thing. But if you're a White House physician and you have any man over 40 years old, are you not going to at least say, hey, once he...
Is it 40? Really? In a couple of years, I'm going to have to start getting my fucking prostate checked? Fuck. Can I wait till... No, if you wait till 50, then you end up with a fucking prostate the size of a grapefruit.
Year, like every other physician says, once a year, we need to do a physical exam and check because this is like one of the leading causes, one of the leading sicknesses for men over 40.
Yeah, I mean, Joe, I think 100%. And did they do a digital rectal exam to assess his prostate?
Digital. See, now that has my dander up. I can handle it digital. Can they look at my prostate without going in my hiney hole? Because I've never had anything up there, and I'd like to keep that streak alive. I'd like to not, believe it or not, I've never ingested semen, and I've never had anything up my asshole. Period. End of story. I'd like to keep that streak up. I'd like to go, ideally, I would like to go into the grave never having anything up my asshole. I'd brag to everybody. Like, if I lived to 85... and I was sitting around the table, and I'd be so happy if I was the only person who never had anything up their ass. I'd consider that like a die happy kind of a moment.
Again, typically that's done in the presence of symptoms. To your point, he's the leader of the free world. Did they do it and not characterize it? It's hard to know. We're speculating here. I would say in an abundance of caution, probably be holistic and comprehensive. That would make sense. It is interesting to note that President Trump's, President Obama's, and President Bush II, in their most recent physicals, in their terms of office, obviously 2025 for President Trump, did comment on their PSA levels. And so they got screened while in office, and they commented on it.
So Biden was getting scanned. He was getting screened as well. So they knew. They knew. But, like, okay, now you have to decide. The guy's out of office. The guy's not there anymore. You're really going to get mad about this? I'm not. I'm not going to get mad about Joe Biden hiding the prostate cancer thing. Like, all right, cool. Like, another thing he lied about. Stack it on the pile of firewood of lies for old Joe Biden. He's gone. I'm happy he's gone. I'm glad. Fly High says, notice he said he didn't want to go to the grave without tasting cum. Okay, I should have clarified. I've never tasted cum, never had anything in my asshole. I would like to die without ever having anything in my asshole and without tasting cum. There. Now I've clarified. Now I've clarified. Fly High. By the way, Fly High, another one. He started Hostel this morning, and by the end of the show, he's just jumping right along with us. I'm a natural charmer, boys and girls. I'm a fucking snake charmer. The war's over. I won the war. I even won the Battle of Hackamania. All of it. Everyone just said it was gay. I even came in and took a big shit on their party. I won the war. We started freeing the hostages, and now we're winning over the stragglers, if you will. It's a glorious day. It's a glorious day. All right, so we got J.D. Vance responding to the announcement of Joe Biden's cancer, which, by the way, should not become a screen name in our chat, Joe Biden's cancer. Let's hear what the vice president had to say.
Speaking of Joe Biden, sir, do you have any thoughts on his diagnosis?
Yeah, look, I mean, first of all, of course, we wish the best for the former president's health. And, it sounds pretty serious, but hopefully he makes the right recovery. Like,
Can I ask you guys a question? And I hate to be this guy because, I hope for the best. He's got a family. I hope he pulls through. You're 82. What does a win look like in this situation? I mean, 82 years old, a stiff breeze could do you in. Now we're talking about, because he's already past life expectancy. Now we're talking about, advanced prostate cancer that's in his bones. I mean, if you're 82 years old, do you know the fight it's going to take to put that into remission? And you'll be what, 83, 84? You won, it's in remission. Guaranteed you're in a wheelchair. You can't take that stand-in. If he can, kudos. I mean, at some point, you got to start thinking of quality of life, right?
I will say, whether the right time to have this conversation is now or at some point in the future.
Probably not.
We really do need to be honest about whether the former president was capable of doing the job.
That's true. I mean, think about it. The media jumps on Trump when he lies about his weight. Like you see Trump, you see his gut, you see how big of a guy he is, and then he's like, I'm only 216 pounds. You're like, yeah, in your bra. No. Donald Trump. And they're like, oh, how terrible. How could he lie to the American people like that? It's awful. I mean, he deports a human smuggler, and they jump all over him. And so I will admit, if you're upset about the hypocrisy of the coverage of Joe Biden's cancer, look, I get it. I'm just glad the guy's not in office. I'm glad the other guy won. So I guess I'm willing to let a lot of shit go.
And that's no, that you can separate the desire for him to have the right health outcome with the recognition that whether it was doctors or whether there were staffers around the former president, I don't think he was able to do a good job for the American people. And that's not. I
don't think he would have been able to do a good job for the American people if he was 100% cancer-free the whole 4 years. The guy had dementia.
Politics, that's not because I disagreed with him on policy. That's because I don't think that he was in good enough health. In some ways, I blame him less than I blame the people around him. And why didn't the American people have a better sense of his health picture? Why didn't the American people have more accurate information about what he was actually dealing with? This is serious stuff. And this is the guy who carries around the nuclear football for the world's largest nuclear arsenal. This is not child's play, and we can pray for good health, but also recognize that if you're not in good enough health to do the job, you shouldn't be doing the job.
And, like, you're not allowed to get upset at right-wing people who get paranoid and say, oh, there's a deep state, and that deep state is against conservatives. And they're like, you're not allowed to say that that's a conspiracy theory when these lies and cover-ups and all this stuff, it only really seems to cut one way. And it's not even necessarily Democrat or Republican. That's not necessarily the balancing line for how this stuff cuts. It tends to be, do they want to go to war with Iran, and do they not want to go to war with Iran? If they don't want to go to war with Iran, they get the full court press. People hammer them. They want to know everything. They make shit up about them. If they want to go to war with Iran, then we'll protect them. We'll cover shit up. We won't tell you about stuff that's wrong with them. Like Mitch McConnell is a classic example. We still don't know what the fuck is wrong with that guy, and he's been passing out, whacking his head on marble steps and shit. No idea. We don't have a right to know. That guy wants to go to war with Iran. Donald Trump doesn't want to go to war with Iran, so, we'll kvetch about his weight. But Joe Biden, man, he wants to give Ukraine a bunch of money. He wants to go to war with Iran. He wants to do all that shit. He wants to bomb everyone Israel wants to bomb. So let's cover up all of his stuff. You're not allowed to get mad, or you're not allowed to attack people who think there might be conspiracies going on when we find out after these people leave that there were indeed conspiracies and cover-ups going on. It's the ultimate form of gaslighting. Oh, my. But I'm sure it's all going to be fine. I'm sure it's all going to be fine. Fly High says, you haven't won me over, dumbass. Stop it. Yes, I have. He's being silly, guys. They play hard to get all the time. Aren't they cute at this age? Stop it, Fly High. You're a big Steel Toe fan. Renegger with $1 says, you're going to get your ass checked, Aaron. Jesus fucking Christ. Bite the pillow. They're going in raw. From the famous quote from Saw, there will be blood. It's not from the movie There Will Be Blood. You're making that up. Redbird with $1 says this was leaked because audio leaked of a judge saying Biden was incapable to stand trial over the documents. And if he wasn't fit to stand trial, any decision he made as president is illegal. Well, yeah, he said he didn't have the cognitive ability to stand trial over the documents. Redbird with another $1 says this fuckstick and his wife also wished a winter of illness and death on all of us. Yeah, that resurfaced today. If you're not vaccinated, get ready for a winter of hospitalization and death. That's sweet. I love Christmas cards from world leaders. They're always so kind. Redbird with $1 says also Tom Homan is saying there's anywhere from tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of children sold on the dark web by the Biden crime family. That's not easy now. That's not exactly what he said. What he said is that the Biden administration was complicit in a lot of this human trafficking. To what level that means, we don't know. Look, I'm not saying that you're wrong ultimately or anything like that. I just like to be honest. I don't like to do that kind of shit. That's not exactly what they said. Das Optic Nerve with $1 says the entire chat knows your polycule and wacky drug divorce was a cover-up for your cake addiction. What can I say? Hands up. When they got you, you got you. The charade is over. What can I say? My Lost Interest says hair loss is a sign of high testosterone, which means they are predisposed to prostate cancer. Get checked, Aaron. I'm a testosterone guy. That's for sure. One thing you know about me, I'm a test guy. They called me Mr. Testosterone back in the day. None of it's synthetic either. Just straight up. I got more testosterone than a trans basketball player, I tell you what. 1:30 away from tonight. Keep throwing in. We appreciate it. Renegger with $1 says there will be blood was the famous quote from Saw. Oh, sorry. You put there will be blood in quotes, so I thought you meant my favorite movie. Those are the words you will hear before your Dr. Sam's into your ass. I'm not going to have anybody going into my ass. Das Optic Nerve, Aaron takes his testosterone orally. I don't know what you mean by that. No idea what you're trying to imply. 125 away from tonight. Thank you very much. Keep it going. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. Anything that we go over tonight, if it's on PayPal, Venmo, Streamlabs, or Rumble, we will throw into the Johnny GoFund. Wait, do I give it to the Johnny GoFundMe, or why can't I just Venmo Johnny directly? Like, I Venmo Johnny every first of the month. Why don't I just Venmo Johnny the money instead of giving it to his GoFundMe? I would feel a lot more comfortable doing it that way, to be honest with you. Slap My Ass Sally with $2 says, did you see Wall's commencement speech? I did not. Atomic Ray says, would you give up a few follicles for a testosterone test? Sweep the fucking desk here. I don't know. I've never had my testosterone tested. I imagine that, I'm a fucking specimen over here. I Lost Interest says, best to have SP practice on you first with a pinky finger before the actual prostate exam. Well, how do you think I come? Wait, what? No. Taste Fairy says the GoFundMe will take a percentage, so might as well send it directly. Yeah, that's what I'll do. We go over today. I'll just send it to Johnny directly. I actually already told him today. I don't like telling people this because A, I don't want him to think I'm a good guy. And B, it just feels like if you say you did this, it sounds like you're looking for like attaboys, and I'm not. But I did tell him that if he has to pay for the ambulance, just let me know and I'll take care of it. But I don't think he has to. I think with the Medicaid and shit and the disability, I don't think he pays for any of that stuff, which is, I mean, cold comfort for having to go through all this shit. But, one less thing. That reminds me, let's get into this, and then we'll be done with all the cancer stuff today. 125 away from tonight's goal. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. Let's go. We got DILBERT announcing that he has cancer. Scott Adams has the same thing Biden does. When did they know? No, I'm just kidding. We don't need to know about Scott Adams' cancer. Scott Adams wasn't the president of the United States. You can keep whatever you want private. You can hide whatever you want from anybody. But I think once you start collecting taxpayer dollars for your salary and you're voted in by the people, and, you serve at our pleasure, I believe we have a right to know.
Cancer that Joe Biden has. So I also have prostate cancer that has also spread to my bones.
God damn.
But I've had it longer than he's had it. Well, longer than he's admitted having it. So my life expectancy is maybe the summer.
Oh, fuck, dude. That's so sad. That's a couple of months. I can't imagine, dude. I can't imagine having to face that like that. I can't imagine. Like, I remember last year. Actually, you know what? I haven't asked if I can tell that story. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to blue ball you like that, guys. I apologize, but I just realized I had to pump the brakes. But finding out that you only have a few months, I mean, that's needless to say a lot to process.
I expect to be checking out from this domain sometime this summer.
Fuck.
You might ask yourself, is it possible that he was not showing signs in August of 2024, but that between then and now, that he not only showed signs, but that it had spread to his bones? And the answer is, yeah, that's possible. I was making a big deal online about the claims that ivermectin and fenbendazole are a cure for this exact condition. Well, in case you're wondering, I did try that. And I did try it with the assistance of the doctor, who was the famous doctor, Dr. Makis. And it wasn't that I believed it would work. It was just that
kitchen
wasn't
sink.
Much downside risk.
Right.
So
throw everything at it.
Doctor's, blessing. He didn't think it would work, of course, and it didn't work at all. So I did it for a few months. My PSA probably went up.
I understand. I get that though. Like if it can't hurt you, throw everything you can at it. That's why, like, I don't mind people advocating for like natural remedies and shit like that. Like, I don't mind that. But, like, do it with everything else. Like, do it on top of all of the other treatments and all of the medications that you have done. You know? I don't see the harm in just like, there's some people who are be like, if you don't just do what your doctors tell you, if you don't just do all the medical stuff, then fuck you and this and that. It's like, well, I mean, don't do anything that could make it worse. Don't do anything that's going to hurt your condition. But like, you know, someone says that, you know, jamming a rutabagas up your asshole sideways could help your cancer. I mean, how bad, you know, do you want to give it a shot? Go for it. I ain't going to get mad at you. After all, you know, my life's philosophy is it's your asshole. But that's too bad for Scott Adams, man. It's to have to face that. And, you know, he and a lot of other people who have this cancer are now coming out and saying that essentially Biden had to have known. There's no way he couldn't have known. It's just not possible. And that's really too bad. That's really, and, you know, there's one of those things. It sounds like he's kind of come to grips with it, which is kind of nice. But at the same time, I wonder if there's not part of you that's just like, yeah, maybe they'll come up with something. Can you afford to live like that? Or is that a bad idea? Like for you to be like, you know, maybe before I clock out, they'll come up with something experimental and I can get into a trial and I can try that. I mean, I feel like it doesn't hurt to hope for that. Maybe there's something more empowering about just accepting it and then just living your life day to day until you clock out. But I'd be the kind of guy who'd be like, you know, you never know. Optimistic until the very end. Let's go to Bigot on socialist media. He says, imagine going through years of radiation therapy and it doesn't help at all. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine. I just having to face that. Like, cancer is easily the most terrifying thing in the world. You know, to have, and then prostate, like the more I hear about prostate cancer, I'm just sitting here going, you know, I'm one of those people who I hear a bunch of people say they got prostate cancer. I'm like, oh, fuck, I have prostate cancer now. Shit. Like, I want to go get checked out tomorrow. And I'm such an asshole, no pun intended, that the only thing that would stop me from getting checked out because of this tomorrow is homophobia. Is I'm like, are they going to stick anything up my ass? Well, that's gay. You know. And how many men are like that? How many men are like, I don't want anything shoved up my asshole. I ain't a homo. And I'll rot to death from the asshole out. I'm rolling the dice on this deal. I don't want to. But yeah, you got to get checked for that. You got to check your balls for cancer. There's a lot of shit you want to do that you have to do. I mean, if you don't want cancer, you got to do the work. And that work includes fucking rubbing on your balls. Unfortunately, having a professional jam a finger up your ass. You know, you can't do it yourself. Can't go up there with your own finger and being like, I know what I'm doing. So don't do that. Sam Show with a good point. Where's Track Doc when you need him? Yeah, we sure could use an update from Track Doc with all this prostate talk. The only thing is, you know, they track this stuff. And they find out that when someone like Biden and Scott Adams and all these people get prostate cancer, the only good thing is they do see an increase in the amount of people who go in for screenings. You know what's amazing is people in their 20s and 30s back in the late 90s started going in to get checked for ball cancer after Tom Green admitted that he had ball cancer and he was going to have to lose a nut because of testicular cancer. And they were amazed. Like, he did a whole special on it and everything on MTV. And because of Tom Green admitting he had ball cancer at like 30, a bunch of young men were starting to get their balls checked out. And they were starting to we all learned the 2-finger and thumb method, where you put your 2 fingers underneath your balls and you take your thumb and you run them across your scrot and you see if there's lumps. And that's how you find out if you have ball cancer. I took that straight from Tom Green. Happy to say. 125 away from tonight. Keep going. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. We appreciate all your contributions. Our standings tonight look like this. Stephanie in first place at $100. Redbird in second with 91. Diane in third with 50. And Ed Harlow in third with $32. All right, continuing on. We've got, the headless alligator story. Yeah, if this isn't a message, I don't know what is. I don't think that a headless alligator just ends up in your neighborhood for no reason. Somebody's trying to tell you something. And Florida's a fucked up place, so who knows what the message is here. But let's take a look at this one from Cape Coral.
It's been floating in a Cape Coral canal for days, and neighbors say the smell has been awful.
Ew. Does somebody want to grab it? It's a... Jeez. Hey, that's such a retarded thing to do. It's like, hey, that headless alligator corpse has been floating in the pond forever. Oh, man, it really stinks like shit. It's like, well, you want to grab it out of there? No, not that bad. I don't want to grab the thing out of it. Well, you want to call somebody who maybe could? I don't know. You want to grab like a net of some sort and try to, drag them closer so we can maybe, scoop them up with a couple of shovels? No, because it really does smell like rotting asshole out here. I don't think we should touch it. What are you going to get, bubonic plague?
Canal is next to Coronado Parkway in the Bimini Basin. Gulf Coast News reporter Alexia Teropoulos is there live as FWC investigates.
Peter, that's right. FWC actually just took that gator away an hour ago. We watched it happen. Neighbors say they're used to seeing dolphins and stingrays in this canal behind me. Never a headless
and never Steve Irwin.
Gator. That was a first. Gloria Benin and her friend noticed a strange fish.
God, it really is just old retired Jews down there, isn't it? I mean, it's just like it stereotypes exist for a reason. And you just see an old Jewish lady hunched over a boat steering wheel. Oh, do you think we're going too fast? I feel like this boat is out of control. We're almost making a wake.
She smelled near her pontoon boat yesterday. I said, well,
and I looked at my friend and I said, your cunt stinks again. You should be washing it better.
Someone said there was a gator with no head.
When she went to check, she found it, a dead alligator belly up floating near her boat. Soon after, it drifted away. Florida Fish and Wildlife searched the canals but came up empty. It might have been stuck under her boat at that time.
Outside here, we see stingrays and dolphins numerous times.
So not headless gators?
Never a gator.
What do you think? What ate it? What eats a gator? You've seen a gator head. They're fucking huge. What's eating a gator head?
We went gator hunting and luckily got some help from these scent hounds. Within minutes.
What the wait a minute. Little tiny, that's not a good scent hound to have. If that thing picks up a gator and goes face to face, it's going to eat them in one bite. Why? Why are we sending these things out to sniff out gators?
We smelt it before we saw it.
Because it stinks.
Once we got close, you could see it was missing its head and its tail, now just a skeleton. Flies.
What do you think? Maybe a message from the Palestinians, perhaps?
Swarming the body.
I don't understand how a headless alligator.
I didn't even know about it.
Well, he didn't start headless, guys. Like, how did the headless alligator get here? He lost the head eventually. He wasn't.
Could be so newsworthy. It's kind of cool.
But the mystery has neighbors asking, how did this happen?
Whoever did it, if it was poached, that they get them because, that's not a good thing.
It's biting commentary from the retirees there in Cape Coral, Florida. Oh, I hope they get the person who cut off the head because, that's not a good thing. Controversial take. Some people would argue that it's very good fertilizer. My grandma would probably bury it at the lake. She'd probably think it's good for the flowers, good for the grass.
FWC officers removed the gator about an hour ago, like we said. They tell me they're letting nature take its course. They've brought it out to deeper water so it can decompose there. Yeah. They have said this is still an active investigation.
I guess they want to cut down on people chopping off alligator heads, but Jesus, do we really? I mean, you got it out of there. You took care of the stink problem. Let's call it a day. Let's wrap it up. Thank you to Balls Deep for 99 cents. $5 from Grand Poobah. He says, this Biden cancer news makes me feel sorry for his family. At least they'll have comfort in the millions of dollars he funneled to them by selling out the American taxpayers to China and Ukraine. Well, Oh, the solace you get from family, right? Dusty Rhodes says, I tell the doctor to check my prostate, and they fling gorilla shit all over the place.
And there will be gorilla shit all over down there.
Dusty, my grandmother's dead. Well, I guess so is Dusty, so that makes sense. All right, well, then he's forgiven. I think he's forgiven. Dusty Rhodes says, I think Melton was visiting Carl's second home, got hungry after a gator got killed, and Melton rolled over on it at the lake. That's mean. That's mean. Helgi says, I'm just glad it wasn't in the lake 80 miles from Santa Fe. Oh, that would be terrible. It would be dreadful. 120 away from today's goal. Thank you guys very much. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. Thank you very much for your generosity. We're getting close. Keep throwing it in there, and we'll call this win for the toe. Also, anything that comes in via Venmo, PayPal, Streamlabs, or Rumble after we hit tonight's goal will go to Johnny. He's back. If you didn't hear earlier on, Johnny is he has a leg infection. He's in the hospital. They're giving him antibiotics. They're going to keep him there for a couple days and see how he's doing. I have encouraged Johnny to rest up, take it easy, and come back next week. There's that GoFundMe link in the chat. If you'd like to contribute to it, go ahead and click that link. I don't know. I don't know about you guys, and I don't want to cause any trouble between anybody, but I'd much rather give out his Venmo and have people just Venmo the guy money rather than I don't, especially if it's true and the GoFundMe was set up by somebody else. As trustworthy as they may be, that's the way I am. I'd feel more comfortable if I could just give him money directly. This is something that made news. This was kind of interesting. I was wondering if any of you would do this. Let's say that you started out dirt floor poor and you ended up becoming a 100 millionaire, like Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports. And let's say that along the line, you were married. You had no money. You made a shitload of money and you got divorced. Or on your way to making a shitload of money, you got divorced. Would you let the ex-wife still have access to the bank account? I'm hearing a bunch of people yell out audibly into my headphones, fuck no. I get it. I understand. So, this next clip I'm about to show you either makes Dave Portnoy one of the most loyal people in the world, one of the dumbest simps in the world, or a combination of both. I'll let you decide.
Hold on.
He's on with serial philanderer Shannon Sharpe.
Is it true your ex-wife have access to your bank account?
Yeah. I told you I trust her implicitly.
I beg your pardon?
Implicitly. I trust her.
Oh, sorry, Shannon. Sorry that he doesn't call up 26-year-old white bitches and threaten to choke the shit out of them in public. Yeah. You know what? Shannon Sharpe is really the guy who should be judging other people's relationship behavior. I think Unc is the perfect example. That's like me giving people relationship advice.
She wanted to take it, she could. There's very few people that you meet where you can trust implicitly. And to be honest, she was there when we were living at the in-laws' house. She was there when we couldn't afford a hamburger. She was there through the grind. She, to me, just like we kind of separated when we started making it.
Right.
So she doesn't get to enjoy any of that.
Right.
To me, that's not right.
Wow.
That's
a, like, I don't know, man. I'm torn. Like, on one hand, that's a respect move. I really do respect that. On the other hand, I think I'm fighting this part of me because this I think is a bad part of me. Is I'm like, no, fuck her. You know, if you ain't with me anymore, you don't get any access to my money. But at the same time, I think it's a real ballsy move to give her like that. That is a sign of respect. That is a sign of trust. But if you're not gonna have another marriage, and it doesn't sound like Dave Portnoy's in a hurry to get married or anything like that. If you're not gonna have another serious relationship, sure, fine. I just have a feeling, and they don't have kids together, I don't believe. I just feel like if you get married again or if you get in a long-term relationship, that's going to be a weird one to explain.
I'm a loyalty guy.
You are a boy. You loyal to the song for real.
Yeah.
I don't know too many people doing that.
No, it's surprising.
I don't know about you. I hit go live on Instagram when I fuck a bitch, and then I threaten to choke her on the telephone. You and I are not the same, Dave Portnoy. That was turning into Tracy Morgan at the end.
People, but she could, if she wanted to do something.
Yo, I'm taking my dates in riding the highway in front of a Walmart truck.
With it, she
Right.
could have done with it a long time ago.
If your ex-wife, is she married?
She's dating somebody, boyfriend.
Are you cool with that?
Yeah, I want her to be happy. It's true.
But then she can't get no more access, Dave. She got to.
I wonder, and this is a scumbaggy part of me, because I don't want to just believe that Dave Portnoy is a decent, trustworthy, generous human being, which he is. He has gone to the mattresses for small businesses and a lot of other things. But I wonder if him giving her access to his bank account wasn't like a strategy on Dave's part so that he didn't have to cut her a massive Barstool check, because he said they separated when he was starting to make it. So the divorce was probably finalized after he made a few bucks doing Barstool. And instead of going through a big, messy divorce, maybe Dave Portnoy goes, how about you just get access to the bank account? You can use my money. I mean, maybe that, or I don't want to shortchange Dave Portnoy. Maybe the guy's just the most trustworthy, loyal son of a bitch that's ever lived.
Gotta cut off, cut a low.
I won't even notice if it's gone.
You mean to tell me she might?
I mean, if she takes it all.
No.
If I'm Dave Portnoy, I'm looking at Shannon Sharp right now and go, do you really want to be the guy giving me women advice right now? Do you really want to have this conversation, Shannon? And then just play the phone recording.
No, but she might take you know what? I'm gonna have this extravagant wedding.
No. If she was gonna do that, I feel like she'd have done that by now. Like if she was gonna clean the guy out, she'd clean him out. And it's not like you can take out $100 million at a time.
Spend $500,000 on a.
If somebody tries to take $100 million out of Dave Portnoy's bank account, there's gonna be a phone call.
Wedding. You cool with?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
If she threw a $250,000 wedding, and that's extravagant, $250,000 wedding, Dave ain't going to notice it's gone. He won't. He's probably worth, what, $200 million? He wouldn't know.
Oh, have mercy. What did you learn during that marriage about yourself?
She's still my best friend. Like, we get along.
That's gay.
Better as friends than in a relationship.
Yeah, but she was with me at the beginning of this company. And, like, if she called me right now, it's like, I need you, I'd be there. It's like, we're...
Boyfriend okay with that? Yeah, I need somebody right now. Oh, baby, I'll be home right now. No, that's okay. I'm going to call my really filthy rich ex-husband. You're cool. You can finish up at work today. How's that? No, Dusty Rhodes. That is not... Johnny's GoFundMe is not... That's not even my GoFundMe, I don't think, is it? No, that link doesn't work. It's not paypal.com/steeltoe media. Raz of Chaz with $1 says Aaron is the same. He let his ex have access to his bank and Google accounts. Yeah, did you know while Nick was in my Google accounts, he changed April and he changed it to April and her email for notification, like payroll notifications and shit like that. What a weirdo, dude. What a fucking weirdo. And then there was that Chad thing where Chad said he got an email. You know what? We'll play that some other time. I forgot about that. I got a similar email to the one Chad got. But we can go into that some other time, I believe. Right now, 120 away from tonight's goal. Go ahead and throw in a couple of bucks. Let's see if we can't get ourselves a nice W tonight. I sure would like a perfect start to the week. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Get all of that stuff in there. And let's call it a win for the toe. 120 away. Everybody throw in a little bit. And like I said, we'll get ourselves a nice, cool W. Let's go to 09 Canyon. Says, I knew a man who was still business partners with his ex-wife. I'd see him with his current girlfriend, him and his ex alone. It worked for them. I guess, I mean, if it works, who am I to judge, right? I'm not exactly the picture of perfection when it comes to that kind of stuff. Bapa Shab says, if my body was slowly crumbling, I'd spend every moment with my kid. Oh, guys, it's enough with the Johnny stuff. Yes, and Sam Show is correct. Johnny's GoFundMe has nothing to do with his health. No, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. For those of you just joining us, Johnny does not have a GoFundMe for his health. Apparently he has to move out at the end of the summer, and he's looking for a little money to move out. That's what the GoFundMe is for. Coyote with $1.99 says Back to the Future or Raiders of the Lost Ark. Oh, dude, Back to the Future. Back to the Future is one of the most perfect movies ever made, in one man's humble opinion. 120 away from tonight. Throw in, call it a win. Let's get in there. Let's do some damage, you slimy fucks, and get ourselves a win. I tell you what, I am so glad we have an American Pope. I just feel like there's just like cooler shit we can do with an American Pope. Like when you have a Pope from Venezuela or some third world country, it's like he doesn't get the way we do things here. And now that we've got I think we've got a Chicago Pope, right? Like he's from Illinois originally. So he'll get sports references. I think it was it J.D. Vance brought him a Pope Leo Bears jersey. So now Pope Leo has his own Bears jersey, which is fucking awesome. And he can be like, oh, this is great. I just love that we have a Pope who came up American. So he's probably on Sunday afternoons yelled the N-word at the TV. And it's like, okay, this is a relatable guy. He's running the Catholic Church, but he's also, one of us. The idea that he watches football on Sunday or that the Pope might watch football on Sunday, that I like that. But, now people are doing stuff for the Pope that they wouldn't do for other popes. But also, since he's a holy man, it seems a little weird and it seems a little beneath a Pope. One sandwich shop apparently named a sandwich after the Pope. And, you got to be cool with it because you're God's representative on earth. So you got to be wow. Thanks, guys. That's great. I really appreciate it, naming a sandwich after me. But at the same time, it's he's the fucking Pope, and it's a sandwich? That's it? And what do you make? What's the Pope sandwich? Well, you know what? It's Catholic, so probably veal. Too soon? Is it too soon? I'm sorry. I'm still a little mad at the fuckers for, being a gang of child molester cover-up artists. That does annoy me still, so a joke here and there, perhaps.
Texas Deli and the Vatican have in common. As it turns out, the man behind...
Oh, God, don't, dude. Don't leave that question open-ended.
As it turns out, the man behind the counter... Everyone, what do a North Texas Deli and the Vatican have in common?
Anybody? Would anybody like to serve up an answer to that question?
Back, everyone. What do a North Texas Deli and the Vatican have in common?
Well, between the Vatican covering up sex crimes and the sandwich shop covering up illegal immigration, they both cover up federal crimes. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. There's actually a good chance that I was factual on that one.
As it turns out, the man behind the counter grew up with the man now wearing the white robes.
Dude, that's another cool thing about there being an American Pope is that old, 20-year-old, 25-year-old Jim Gaffigan joke. It kind of comes back around again. Could you imagine if you, grew up with the Pope? And you're like, that guy's Pope now? That guy was a jerk. The Pope was just a dick.
Now the owner is honoring him the only way that he knows how, with a sandwich. Nicole Nielsen has the story of how lunch in Texas is honoring a legacy in Rome.
Yeah, that's right. We got the blackface pastrami and we got the Pope. Which one would you like?
I got a Morgan's turkey for Paul.
It's a long way from the south side of Chicago.
I got 4 sandwiches. That sound right?
And an even longer way from Rome.
Our pleasure.
But inside Weinberger's Deli in Grapevine, you'll find a little taste of both.
Weinberger's Deli. Wait a minute. What now? You're honoring a Catholic Pope? Hey, anything for a profit. I'm here to make money.
There you have it.
Does look like a fucking delicious sandwich, though.
Papa Leo.
Owner Dan Weinberger, an Irish Catholic and Chicago native.
Oh, I was wrong. Weinberger is a Catholic. Who would have known?
Opened up shop here in 2002 and has been stacking subs with Chicago and flair ever since.
Give us a moment, I'll call your name.
Many with names representing important figures. And last week, the menu
Wow, Father Dolan. This guy's Catholic as fuck.
got a holy upgrade when the new pope was announced, and excitement turned to shock.
An American Pope, number one. Number two, we went to...
Did it say that the Pope sandwich is made of lamb? Oh, no, my joke was right. I didn't want to be right about that. Oh,
buddy.
don't make, dude, read the room. Do not name a Catholic sandwich after a baby sheep. Oh, no.
Last week, the menu got a holy upgrade when the new pope was
Lamb, ham, mozzarella, sunny side up egg. We didn't need to do that. Oh, boy.
announced, and excitement turned to shock.
An American Pope, number one. Number two, we went to grade school together.
Dan and the new pope grew up in the same neighborhood, went to the same school, and attended the same
I always hated him because he always got way more pussy than I did. And then he became a priest. I was like, I don't fucking get it.
parish.
That was when he was second grade.
He admits they weren't close as the new Holy Father was older, but his brother Billy was an altar boy alongside the new Pope Leo XIV. And for Dan, this historic moment has made his connection to the church feel stronger than it has in years.
He's just one of us. Just so relatable.
So he did what he does best, made a sandwich worthy of a pope.
Because we're going to get the nice toast on that.
It's like a fucking gyro. He's making a gyro? No, that's an Orthodox sandwich. That's for the Greeks. Don't make any of that Eastern Christian bullshit.
It's called the Ipapaleo.
Bunch of fucking wizards, if you ask me. Deceitful fuck.
And it's full of
I still haven't forgiven Emperor Alexius.
symbolism. Lamb for the Lamb of God, ham for the richness of the church, sriracha to represent the blood of Christ, mozzarella for Italian roots, and egg for the white and gold colors of the papacy.
Holy shit, this guy really put some thought into this.
And the final nod to the Pope, the price at $14. He says so.
Oh, and 88 cents. I get it. I see what you're doing. I see what. Oh, Pope Leo XIV. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. I was way off.
So far, it's been selling like crazy.
You take a bite out of it and you put it down, then you take another bite and you put it down, and pretty soon you don't put it down. You want to copy the receipt today?
Showing that even from a deli in Texas, faith has a way of bringing the world just a little closer together.
Is this together separately?
In Grapevine, Nicole Nielsen, CBS.
Nice little commercial. God, that looks good. A fucking old school deli sandwich. That sounds great. I don't know. It's kind of weird though, isn't it? Like you make money off of the Pope. You're not supposed to be able to do that. You're not supposed to be profiteering off the Pope's name. You went to. That's like remember when Rocky got the fight with Apollo and Paulie's selling like coffee cups and tchotchke Rocky shit. I don't know if I like that. Coyote NV with 199 says, can I get that on Jewish rye? Oh, the irony. Oh, the irony. Too bad. Papa Shab says, Italian beef from an Irish Jew. He's not Jewish. He's Irish Catholic. Weinberger, right? I would have never thought. Knock me over with a feather. 120 away from tonight's goal. We have completely stalled out, guys. We have 1 hour left in tonight's program. Help us make it a perfect show. You know, we were actually cruising along until I told the audience that whatever we go over, we'll go to Johnny, and then everybody stopped. That's it's fucking hurtful, dude. It's really I don't like the way you guys send messages, you know? That's really something. Oh my goodness, never mind. Anonymous Fake Dono says all donations now go to Johnny. Do it for Johnny. Anonymous Fake Dono with $120. I spoke too soon.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Anonymous Fake Dono.
But I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Now I don't know where to put that 120 on the, I can't make it Anonymous Fake Dono. Anonymous fake. I could call it and fake. Let's call it that. Let's make first place and fake. And fake. 120. We got to acknowledge it, don't you? Stephanie now in second at 100. Redbird in third at 91. And Diane is in fourth with 50. All right, guys. Everything from now on is going, everything that goes through PayPal, Venmo, or Rumble is going to Johnny. Let me just change this goal as we've knocked it out. Thank you so much, guys. That's very nice. PayPal, Venmo, and Rumble to Johnny. There we go. Copy, paste, and let's pin that to the top of the page. There we are. So for the rest of the show tonight, and then, Wednesday, I don't have anything to do. SP and I are like packing and doing all that shit. So I think that what we ought to do is that Wednesday, maybe we'll do like a marathon show. Because I don't have to get up early Thursday morning. I gotta get up kind of early. Not as early as I normally have to get up, but I still have to get up early. I think Wednesday we'll do kind of a fun thing. We'll knock out the goal, and then we'll just go like a certain amount. We'll do another hour. Certain amount. We'll do another hour. I think that would be kind of cool. All that's up. All PayPal, Venmo, and Rumble are going to Johnny. Thank you, guys. $1 from Raz of Chaz says Deli and the church have in common. They both give a 6-inch to a little Jesus fucking Christ. No Pen 15 Fathead with $5 says let's do it for Johnny. Thank you. Balls Deep, thank you for gifting a membership. Hey, Super War Jam, thank you for the $4.99. You're gonna hate this because Super War Jam, I know it's gonna really bug you. One of the other things about my very generous plea deal is with the felony out of the picture, Safe Sport is completely out of the boxing thing. And by the end of this week, I'm sorry. I know that we've won the war. I don't want to pile on. But by the end of this week, we are to get word that Safe Sport is closing their investigation. And I will be back as a licensed fighter and as a coach. We're going to get the coach thing too. So that's wonderful. So Super War Jam, come on out and come see Coach Aaron, and I'll teach you how to be a man. How's that, buddy? Another win for the toe. I didn't want to say anything until it was done, but I did. I heard from Safe Sport last week, and they said, hey, just send us the documentation on the felony being dismissed and we can close your case. And I said, all right, here you go. Heard from them, was it Thursday or Friday? They confirmed that they got it. Now all they have to do is send me the paperwork. I take that to USA Boxing and we get all our books back and everything back. So that's that is wonderful to have that done. So every shot, every nuke that they tried to fire at the toe, everything they tried to throw at me, we caught it, blew a little kiss back to them, and said, fuck you. So, another win for the toe, and we kicked their ass once again. Sorry, guys. And you gave it everything you got. You tried your absolute hardest. Once again, I'm just better than you. Vidam with $5 says, Johnny is circumcised and still has his foreskin. Johnny has a massive penis. What the fuck is that all about? Thank you, I think. Coyote NV with $1.99 says, more comebacks than Muhammad Ali. Between you and me, I never stopped. I done been boxing. Thank you. All right, let's go. So now if you're just joining us, everything else we do tonight will go right into Johnny's pocket from Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, and Rumble. There's all the links in the chat if you'd like to contribute. Anything on YouTube, since that doesn't come here till June 22nd, and that doesn't do Johnny any good, we'll put that towards tomorrow. Thank you, guys. I'm sure Johnny will appreciate it. I'll Venmo him after the program. Let's go to this next story. Thank goodness. You know, I've talked a lot about how the state of Minnesota used to have this sex offender. It wasn't they called it a rehabilitation program, but it wasn't a rehabilitation program. It was basically an extra jail for sex offenders. So they would serve their prison sentence. And one thing the state of Minnesota could do until 2010, 2008 or whatever. Somebody says that Johnny has a massive penis, and Papa Shab says, I'm sick of this campaign of lies and gaslighting. Why would you be mad about a rumor about Johnny's penis? Why would that upset you, Papa Shab? Before we get into this story about this guy I'd like to see catch a Derek Vineyard boot to his head on the curb. Why? That just caught me in the chat. Why does that upset you? He says, I'm sick of this campaign of lies and gaslighting. And then he says to Diglett, his penis most certainly does not work. But why would that? People are trying to tell me, Aaron, it's small, he's Polish. Well, it doesn't matter. Why does it affect you? Why does it impact you? Is what I'm trying to get at. Unbelievable. And I caught the chat at the right time that was coming along. Vadam with $5 says Johnny has a big bush of pubic hair. None of us know that. Thank you for the $5. It's on Rumble, PayPal, or Venmo, so it will go to Johnny's total tonight. Chad Buzamok says, Johnny, send Aaron the pic for proof. It's really not necessary. 09 Canyon says it doesn't impact anyone. My Lost Interest says Johnny is a shower. Lucky bastard. We're not. No, guys, it doesn't. Let me try to help you. You don't need to know anything about Johnny's genitalia. Let me tell you, you'll be happier for not knowing about Johnny's genitalia. Just try to take it easy for me, okay? All right, I'm going to get away from the chat for a second. We'll get into this. And we got to talk about this Chauvin thing, too, in a little bit. So we had this program where you'd serve your prison sentence as a sex offender, and we're a fucking as blue as it gets kind of a state. We're not a swing state anymore. Easy, I get it. Swing state. But we're pretty deep blue. And so we don't send people to jail for breaking the law. We just fucking don't. It's frustrating. So when sex offenders would finish their sentence, they would go to Moose Lake Sex Offender Treatment Facility. And there were two places. There was St. Peter and there was Moose Lake. And what we would do is after your prison sentence was done, if we evaluated you and said you were still a threat to society and that you would probably reoffend, because remember, over 90% of sex offenders reoffend. That is an absolute fact. That was a study done by the Canadian Health Department. Over 90% of sex offenders reoffend. So we said, well, in order to protect the people and the children, especially of Minnesota, we're going to lock these guys up in another facility and we will let them go when we screen them and we feel like they're no longer a threat to society. Now, they did that process. Do you know how many people they ended up releasing during the entire time of that program? One guy. Technically two, but one of them reoffended and that guy had to go back. So one guy for decades was ever released and did not reoffend. Well, now we have to let these fucking people out. And I wish we could go back to the old days. Aaron, what, you want to deny these guys their constitutional rights? I mean, look, call me bad, kick me out of a libertarian treehouse that I don't want to be in anyway. Yeah, I do. I want to deprive you of your constitutional rights. I want to keep you locked up as long as humanly possible.
New at 5, a registered sex offender is in custody again tonight after escaping from a state facility in southern Minnesota this weekend. It is the second time in less than 2 weeks that somebody has escaped from there, leaving community members pretty shaken.
No shit. And also, this is on the same week where our governor announced his brilliant plan to close Stillwater Prison in 4 years. So we'll have more rehabilitation facilities like this. We'll have more soft incarceration versus maximum security prisons, which I can't say I'm a big fan of.
Fox 9's Courtney Godfrey is live in St. Peter tonight with a look at what
Here's
happened.
a truck
Courtney?
stop instead of St.
Good evening,
Peter.
Kelsey. We've been here in St. Peter talking to people throughout the day, and this is certainly a hot topic, as many are now raising concerns about the security here at the facility in St. Peter.
No shit.
53-year-old Stephen Lauren Edwards was taken into custody.
It's just, I mean, it's a goddamn phenotype. Fat guy, creepy beard, glasses. I mean, it never fails.
Sunday after escaping from a state-run sex offender program in St. Peter over the weekend. Police say Edwards was arrested more than 300 miles away in Missouri after last being spotted in Albert Lee. The escape leaving many in the small community concerned.
It's just kind of concerning when I hear stuff about like people getting out. My parents will text me like, "Hey, like make sure you're being careful when you're going on runs."
See, and I don't think that's right. I don't think anybody, especially someone that age, should have to feel that way, should have to think that way. These guys should be locked down in maximum security facilities. I hate that liberal law enforcement has this idea that the taxpayers should be treated as guinea pigs in some fucking social experiment. I mean, these are sex offenders. These aren't B&E. These aren't, shoplifting people. These aren't people who just steal. These are people who commit violent, intimate sexual acts against people's will. They ought to be locked up under the jail and never allowed, like, barely an ounce of daylight to even try to get out. And I don't care. People, this all came about because people said, well, we have to have compassion because they get treated so horribly in prison. Good. I'm totally fine with that. You can't push your liberal guilt bullshit on me where you go, oh, well, Aaron, even though they're incarcerated, don't they deserve to be treated like humans? I mean, if they can be, but they're in there with garbage, so you're probably going to get treated like garbage. There's a very simple way to make sure that you don't get treated this way, and that's don't be a sex offender. Don't break the law. And if you do, I have a hard time dredging up compassion for how you're treated in there. If that makes me a bad guy, then I'm a bad guy. But I don't want this young lady to have to be told by your parents, oh, be careful where you're walking, put your keys between your knuckles, be really careful because you never know when one of these fucking loonies from the sex offender treatment facility is going to escape. I don't want people to have to live that way. These are good, innocent people. We should lock these monsters up under the jail and not have to worry about them getting out.
This is now the second sex offender to escape from the St. Peter facility in less than 2 weeks, with a 45-year-old man possibly carrying.
Looks a little familiar. That one looks a little familiar, boys and girls. I mean, also a sex pest. I mean, in a different way, but also a sex pest.
A knife, reported missing May 9th and later apprehended. The Department of Human Services telling Fox 9 that this latest escapee fled from a less restrictive, unlocked setting, an area for clients in their later stages of treatment.
We're not used to this, but it's something that happens on occasion here.
St. Peter City leaders trying to assure the community that their safety is of the utmost priority.
Is it? I mean, you can say it is, but actions speak louder than words, and it doesn't seem like your actions show that you have the safety of the people, well in hand.
But what you can do at the meetings when we're together is ask the right questions, ask them to provide the information.
Like, how do we keep the monsters locked up behind the walls? That's a good question to ask. Are these people at a fucking treatment facility where basically they try to make it as much like a halfway house as possible? Because if so, fucking shame on us.
Continue to make sure that the communication that we have is really strong and we know the language that we speak, so that if there are incidents in the future, we can provide that communication and information to the community.
But some are hoping this prompts some changes.
I think they need to be on better watch, especially if there's somebody out there with like a weapon. Like, they just need to get that figured out.
Yeah, no shit. When the 15-year-old girl being interviewed by the news has more answers than your fucking community leaders, that's a problem. That's an issue that we need to discuss. Maybe she needs to be in charge. People writing in the chat, Melton, no! Yeah, you know what, Chaz, I caught that too. They call them clients. They're not clients. They're criminals. My Lost Interest says South Korea wouldn't have allowed this. Executed prisoners can't escape. Dude, after watching that Johnny Somali coverage, and if you missed our Johnny Somali coverage, I clipped it out. And a half hour after this show ends, we're going to be premiering that. You can watch that. It's like 45 minutes long. It's a pretty good chunk if you're looking to kill some time tonight. I'm so jealous of South Korea's criminal punishment process, their legal establishment that they have there. Whew. God, is that awesome. Johnny Somali pours ramen out in a 7-Eleven. They're like, you're going to jail for 5 years, you little fuckstick. I like that. Chad Buzamok says, someone call Peterson. Sometimes bad things happen to good people. No. The victim in my case was, that was a case of a bad thing happening to good people. I wouldn't say that that a bad thing happened to me. I mean, look, I did a dumb, retarded, shitty thing when I was in a bad spot, and there's no excuse for it. It's just shitty behavior. Redbird with $5 says, I'll never understand people being comfortable being unarmed. I mean, if you're not strapped in St. Peter, I don't know what to tell you. You kind of have to, and that's unfortunate that people have to take that step. I don't like that at all. They should, either they should be securing that place and making it more like a prison, or these guys shouldn't be in treatment facilities. Over 90% recidivism rate. There's no fucking treatment. Coyote NV with $1.99 says several escapees from a podcast in Los Angeles or Las Vegas. Yeah, I fucked that one up. Thank you guys very much. Thank you very much to Patrick with $20. He says for Johnny. Thank you, Patrick.
We want the gold, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
20 over on PayPal. All the PayPals, Venmos, and Rumbles go to Johnny tonight. So continue throwing those in. All the links are in the chat. Thank you so much. Johnny's up to $30 now. Thank you. Thank you very much. Again, Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, and Rumble are the places you can go to make sure that Johnny gets a little chunk from this evening's program. Let's go into the next one. So, you know how in Minnesota they were trying to scare the shit out of us about, oh, look out, because, Trump could pardon Derek Chauvin, and if Trump If Trump pardons Chauvin, we're going to have all kinds of unrest and blah, blah. This coming from the fact that Donald Trump never said he was going to pardon Derek Chauvin. No evidence of this whatsoever, just scaring the shit out of people for no reason, getting them all angsty and stuff. That asshole attorney general we have. The guy who was really close with that charity scam. Keith Ellison, Governor Walz. They're all talking about it like it's something that could happen. And here Trump is like, I ain't pardoning Chauvin. And they're getting people all worked up about it. Well, we have an update on that. After all that, hoopla last week, now they had to come out and admit, yeah, Trump, there's no evidence that they're pardoning him. By the way, Diglett says Wolves are OKC. Well, you know me. Am I scared of OKC? Yes, absolutely. But at the same time, I'm always going to say that my T-Wolves are going to win. It will be our first NBA Finals appearance ever. And, I think we seriously have to consider that even at the young age of 23, that Anthony Edwards might be the greatest Timberwolf of all time. Back-to-back appearances to the Western Conference Finals. He takes over a game better than KG did. I know he's got 5 or 6 years he's still got to do it for in order to match what KG did here, but he's on his way, man. That's for sure. Let's play this. So remember, Fox 9 just last week ran a report that said, look out. If Trump pardons Chauvin, shit's going to hit the fan. Here's what they ran last night.
Over the weekend, a New York newspaper created some controversy. Anything you would like to say about those comments?
Just that, as I have stated previously, a frustration that I've had over the last 3 years that I've been here is that we have very, very real challenges around crime in this city and ensuring that we're able to provide safety. And those are having an effective police department is absolutely necessary. It's not sufficient in and of itself, but it's absolutely necessary to address those really, really urgent needs that our residents have been dealing with. And so, I have felt like at times it's almost controversial to even acknowledge that policing in and of itself is essential, that having effective...
I mean, that may sound weird to you guys, but here in Minnesota, yeah, it is. It's strange that you look at the problems Minneapolis is having, and you're like, boy, sure would be nice if we could have more cops. And people look at you like you just asked for the second coming of the Third Reich, which would technically be the Fourth Reich. But you get the idea. Like if you go, man, policing would be really helpful to this crime problem we're having, and they go, wow, why don't you just throw people in ovens? You're like, what? No, I feel like that's pretty non-controversial. Not anymore.
Effective policing is essential for so many of our residents who are hardest hit by just the level of crime and violence we've experienced in recent years. And so that's the disconnect I was referring to, because I am someone that believes in doing everything we possibly can to try and get crime under control. And that's both hard approaches, which are law enforcement based, working with law enforcement to ensure that there are strong consequences for people that are committing real harm.
Anybody else getting the vibe that this guy it's not that I don't take him seriously, it's that sometimes you need a diplomat for a police chief and sometimes you need a soldier, like a guy who wants to go to war. I think we need a wartime police chief. Like that guy who used to run Ramsey County, maybe he still does. Is it Fletcher? I think he was in Ramsey County. He was good. This guy just seems like a peacetime police chief, and it ain't peacetime.
Community, but it's also doing everything that we can on the prevention side to take away some of the opportunities for crime to happen, which has also at times been criticized. When I stood with the Attorney General and said, Kia and Hyundai need to do something about making their cars so easy to be stolen.
Kia, you hear that? That's the police chief of Minnesota. That's his big idea. Kia and Hyundai need to stop making their cars so damn stealable. I mean, they make cars for $15,000 for fuck's sake. I mean, they're not going to be Fort Knox. Kia and Hyundai need to make their cars less stealable. How about the people in Minneapolis don't steal fucking cars? How about the police department makes it such an unthinkable crime and they crack down on it so hard that people think twice before they steal a car because they know they're going to get a baton shoved up their ass? I mean, the fucking nerve. The nerve of the police to go, hey, we really suck shit at our jobs, and they basically defunded us, and we gave up the 3rd precinct, and we basically gave an entire community away to fiends. Do you guys mind if you put a few extra locks and bells and whistles on your cars? It's really easy for people to steal them. Like, really? Is it easy to steal them because our security sucks shit? Or is it easy to steal them because nobody takes your authority seriously? Which one is it really?
And that kind of thing. So, my commitment to the people of this community is to do absolutely everything we possibly can to keep people alive here and try and reduce crime. And to me, that's something, those are things and decisions we should be making free of any ideological lens.
I got to tell you guys, he's no Grady Judd, that's for sure. He's no Grady.
I have to ask you this too. I know it's been brought up before, but are you prepared for the Trump administration
Here we go with that shit, making this guy's job even harder. Anything. What about the Trump administration if they pardon Chauvin?
So I was in D.C. last week, and I've literally had police chiefs from around the country ask me that question. And I'll tell you what I've told them. There is absolutely no credible information we have to suggest that's going to happen.
But the news just goes out and they report it like it's going to fucking happen. They stir people up. They get them worked up. I'm sure they don't make this guy's job any easier. I mean, and shit, nobody has to take responsibility, ever. They, like a bunch of firebugs, they set a fire and then they show up later and go, wow, what happened? How'd that fire start? You cunt.
So let me just get that off right from the beginning. Secondly, what I would say to that, we all saw that video. We all knew it was wrong, including the president 5 years ago. And if you're not familiar with what he said, Google it. Google his reaction to that video. So, you know, while there certainly is no credible information that something like that would happen, of course, because there's all these rumors.
Yeah.
We've been in communication with our partners at the state.
See, like I have zero belief and zero confidence in this guy because I've watched people like Grady Judd. I've watched other police chiefs, and these other police chiefs confront people like this. You know, these other police chiefs are like, no, fuck that. No, you're not gonna pull this shit. You're not going to make up rumors that some shit's going to happen with Chauvin and then rile up these people and then cause problems for us. Like I feel like he would take it to the media more than this guy does. Vadam with $5. Jesus, Vadam is obsessed with Johnny's cock today. He says, Johnny has black penis. That is not lube, Johnny. That's black shoe polish. Oh, no, Johnny, you're so big. What the fuck is going on with Vadam? Buffalo Jockey with $1 says it's fun watching places like Minneapolis turn into complete shit from afar. The people that choose to live there only have themselves to blame. Yeah. I mean, I agree with that as well. Like, it's like all these communities in California that wonder, you know, oh, how'd all the piss and shit get on the sidewalk? How'd all the homeless people get here? Why are there junkies nodding out everywhere I look? Because of the leadership you elected. Because you look at them, you go, you could try voting Republican, and they go, oh, no, I'm not a Nazi. I'll just pick another version of what we already have, but I'll make it black this time. Just going to do the same thing. No, because this one's black. I mean, really, it's like car shopping. You know, they're like, the last one was white, and this one is black. It's like it's the same fucking make and model. I don't know what you're expecting. And then 4 years later, they go, I don't know why it still sucks here. Chicago's the same way. Did you see Chicago's mayor is being investigated by the federal government now because he refuses to hire white people? So now the DOJ is looking into him. It's just more corruption. He might even be more corrupt than Mayor Beetlejuice. They might have actually fucked up worse. But when they were electing a new mayor, they went, oh, Mayor Beetlejuice, she's fucking terrible. We got to pick a new one. I got an idea. Let's pick someone who believes in the same shit she does, only he's got a dick. That'll be different. And wouldn't you know, Chicago's still in hell, and they got a corrupt mayor that's being investigated by the DOJ for racism. Again, you can blame the leadership all you want, but where do you think these people come from? They get picked. They get picked by the community. You could try voting for a different candidate in a different party. But nope, that's Nazi. That's some Nazi shit. Helgi says, with a name like Grady McJudge, Brody, though, or Brody Tough, how can you not trust the guy? That's not his name. That's not Grady Judd's name. It's not, he doesn't talk like that. Thank you very much, guys. By the way, $35 for Johnny so far. Anything you guys throw in via PayPal, Venmo, and Rumble goes to Johnny tonight. I'll be Venmoing him right after the program. Let's go. Oh, the Mariska Hargitay story. The Law and Order chick. I thought this was kind of fucked up. I didn't think she needed to do this. I mean, I know her mom's dead. I think her her biological dad's dead and the man who raised her is dead. I don't know if we really needed to see this, you know? But Mariska Hargitay, after more than 30 years of uncertainty, revealed her biological father is not Mickey Hargitay, the man who raised her, but a famous Italian singer and comedian, Nelson Sardelli. So, if you don't know, Jane Mansfield, the drop-dead gorgeous 50s and 60s movie star, is Mariska Hargitay's mother. Jane Mansfield died in a car accident when Mariska Hargitay was very, very young. Her mom was married to Mickey Hargitay at the time. They were separated, and during that separation, Jane Mansfield hooked up with this Nelson Sardelli, and she got knocked up. Her and Mickey Hargitay got back together, and Mickey Hargitay, I guess, knew the kid wasn't his, but decided to raise it as his own anyway, and that's tough. So then he raises Mariska Hargitay. She has his name, like the whole deal. Now everybody's dead, and Mariska Hargitay has decided to come out and say, well, Nelson Sardelli is actually my father. And I guess it's because she's doing a documentary, and she's promoting it. And one of the things you do when you write a book or you get a documentary is you go, you do some kind of tell-all. You know, you give some kind of juicy information to get people to watch it or get people to buy the book. And in this case, she announces that the guy who raised her isn't her dad. And, you know, I guess if everyone's dead, it can't hurt anyone. But still, it just, to me, it feels like this guy put aside a lot of feelings that he obviously had. He raised you your entire life, gave you his name. I don't know, like, even though he's dead, I don't think you need to publicly come out with this information and, you know, make it look shitty. I don't know. It just seems odd to me. Oh, wait a minute. Is Nelson Sardelli still alive? Because there's a picture of him here in 2023. Is Nelson Sardelli still kicking? Mamma mia. Hargitay says she discovered the truth in her 20s after seeing a photo of Sardelli and noticing a strong resemblance. When she brought it up to Mickey, he insisted he was her biological father. She says the topic was never discussed again before Mickey Hargitay died in 2006. Yeah, because she looks nothing like Mickey Hargitay. She's got a lot of Jane Mansfield, though. God, I forgot how fucking smoking Mariska Hargitay was in the Elliot Stabler Law and Order. She still looks very good. I mean, she's pushing 60. She still looks very, very good. But they're oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy, is there a resemblance there. What kind of mask was he wearing to get that tan line, by the way? He fall asleep on a submarine sandwich? How the fuck do you look like that? But yeah, there's oh yeah. Nelson, although she looks way more like her mother. Mariska still says she considers Mickey her true father, saying, I'm Mickey Hargitay's daughter. That is not a lie. Yeah. I just don't know if you need to come out with that publicly. It seems in poor taste. She met Sardelli when she was 30, but initially kept her distance. I told him, I don't want anything from you. I have a dad. She says over time, she built a relationship with him and his family. Nelson Sardelli. Yeah, he's 90 years old. He's still alive. Huh. Yeah, I guess... I mean, it's not something I would do, but it ain't my fucking story to tell. Dusty Rhodes with $1 says Melton says he's not going to give to Johnny's GoFundMe because he did not do super tips. I mean, I'm sure he didn't say that. I'm sure you're just starting shit. But anyone who would say that, I would definitely, Johnny probably wouldn't want money from anyone like that anyway. I'm sure he'll be fine without it. But I honestly don't believe he said that. Buffalo Jockey with $2 says, just shows no matter how rich and successful women get, they just can't keep their mouths shut. Again, maybe I'm being too sensitive here, but it just seems in poor taste to me. 09 Canyon says, like Liv Tyler changed her name from Rundgren I think it was Todd Rundgren anyway, even though he had raised her entire life. Yeah, that is kind of a dick move. You're right. Leah says, I'm late. What's the Johnny update? The Johnny update is this. The Johnny update is that Johnny has an infection in his leg. He's currently in the hospital, and he's on antibiotics. They're going to monitor him for a few days. I don't think we need to be concerned until there's reason to be concerned. I think just be positive, hope for the best. And I have no reason to believe that Johnny's in any kind of danger. He's in good hands. He's at the hospital. They've got him on medication, and they're going to watch him for a couple of days. No reason to believe that this leg infection business won't, with a little antibiotics, won't take care of itself. But we have more than met our goal tonight, and we are over from the YouTube side. So anything that comes in on PayPal, Venmo, and Rumble will go to Johnny. And right now that number is at 35. 35. Buffalo Jockey says, have Oz host the show while you're on Fang Island down in Florida. I'm not on the gay key. I would love that. I really would. I don't think Oz has any way to do the show. I don't think he has like a home studio or anything. Our initial plan was to have Johnny do it, but I want to make sure Johnny's rested and healthy. So I've asked Chino and Keanu to do it, and they can decide. I think they're interested in doing it. We'll see. I know Gino's in LA, so we'll see how that works. I did have to look up the rules. I had to look up the rules and see if Gino could actually be on our channel. It turns out if you have a banned YouTube channel, you can be on other people's channels. You just can't have your own. Perfect. Blukey says, how much for Johnny's socks or thongs? Are we in that realm now where Johnny's got to be selling underwear and shit? Oh, that's a bad place to be. We don't need to be in that place, boys and girls. Let's talk about a real man's man here. What do you guys say? Harry Sisson. You know how Harry Sisson's trying to get away from the whole I was a fucking creep to a bunch of girls on Snapchat, and I didn't tell him that I was fucking around with a bunch of other chicks, and I could have been a one-man chlamydia stick. You know that Harry Sisson? I actually prefer that Harry Sisson to the totally gay liberal commentator Harry Sisson. I prefer the scumbag philanderer to the totally obviously gay pussy lily white liberal cunt face. But he's trying to distract you from the pussy getting Harry Sisson, and he wants everyone to know that he is still the same fucking ass pounding liberal that he's always been. Let's take a look at this one. He guys. You might want to be careful of this guy. He does biting commentary. He references Donald Trump as a Cheeto. Look out for this fucking dude.
Listen, someone needs to take Donald Trump's phone away from him. That should have happened yesterday, because today our demented Cheeto dust felon president.
Whoa! All right, listen, man. I know I make fun of this guy, but I didn't know he was going to call him Cheeto, like orange, because people say his skin is orange, so they call him a Cheeto. That's fucking hurtful, man. That's really hurtful. I can't believe nobody else has ever thought to call him that, because that seems like a really effective way to criticize Donald Trump.
Decided to go on a 24-hour social media rampage, posting nonstop. It started at 10:30 this morning when Trump decided to go after Walmart, telling them to, quote, eat the tariffs, which is interesting because Donald Trump told us that tariffs do not raise costs.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's right. You think he's being dishonest, right? Kind of like you told all those women, no, I guarantee you're the only one. Well, then why does my pussy stink, Harry? My pussy reeks of dirty dick. Would you care to explain yourself? Again, the Snapchat thing with Harry Sisson surprised the shit out of me. I never would have thought he was into chicks.
And now that costs have gone up, he's telling Walmart to just absorb them. Don't pass them down to the consumer. Just eat them.
Look, I don't like tariffs either. In a perfect world, there would be no tariffs. But here's what I hate about people like Harry Sisson. now that we got a trade deal with China, we got a trade deal with the UK, and we got more trade deals coming, is this guy, this is where the game is so rigged. He's never going to make a video going, well, shit, it looked like I spoke too soon on the tariffs. It looked like we played a little hardball. We were having a staring contest with all of these countries, and they blinked. And now we have better trade deals, and we had to have these temporary tariffs, and now the tariffs are gone, and in their place are better trade deals, and it was better for the United States. He's never going to do that. This is all just bullshit propaganda, and I lament it because it would be nice if we need an honest discussion, but you're never going to get it with these people when their egos are all wrapped up in it. Like, hey, great example. It looks like I'm going to be wrong on tariffs, and I'm so happy. I just wish that Harry Sisson was happy that he was wrong on tariffs. I wish Republicans and Democrats would root for their country when they're not in control. That really bugs me.
Always a recipe for failure. It got worse, though. He decided then to repost a message from an advisor of his.
How are you an even gayer Bo Burnham? I don't understand how that's possible. And an untalented gayer Bo Burnham.
Threatening Supreme Court justices because they didn't rule in Donald Trump's favor. Now, you're probably saying, does it get much worse? Answer is yes.
Fucking based. Andrew Jackson did that. The Chief Justice has made his ruling. Now let's watch him enforce it. And that's because Andrew Jackson really, really, really wanted to move Indians the fuck out of the country.
Donald Trump then decided to post an over 2-minute AI video of himself performing Don't Stop Believin' by Journey.
It's fucking cool. Why does that bother you? If anything, it's a little gay. You should probably like it.
The sentence I just said is real. If you don't believe me, you can look at my video about this or just look it up. It's gone incredibly viral for how...
Wait a minute. You decided to make a video about the president making a video of an AI. You understand Trump didn't make that AI video. He doesn't even know how that shit works.
How strange it is. So I'm going to need somebody in the White House to just take that phone away from that demented loser, because if he continues to do this, the United States will continue to get embarrassed. More so than we already are.
Hey, asshole. Somebody should take your phone away. All right? Let's not glass houses and all that, Harry. I don't know if the guy who got caught being a fuckboy with a bunch of women on Snapchat needs to be giving anybody phone advice. I'm not sure. Let's go to Hulkamasha Baby with $1. All right, what do we got here? What clip do we have from Hulkamash? My pussy reeks of dirty dick. Would you care to explain yourself? No, wait. It's out of context. I was making a joke about Harry Sisson and his many girlfriends. Leah says, I don't disagree that they need to take the phone away from Trump. He tweets too much. Maybe, but fucking who cares? He's been addicted to that phone for the last 12 years. That ain't getting any better. That ain't changing. Bapa Shab says he reads talking points from the DNC, just how Tim Pool reads talking points from Jews on his monitor. Adam Conover, as much as I dislike that guy, he did call Tim Pool out on the Russia thing because a country that was licensing Tim Pool, or a company that was licensing Tim Pool's content, took a shitload of money from Russia, and they used that money to pay Tim Pool. And dude, Tim Pool's cope was so bad. He's like, the Department of Justice started an investigation, and then they closed the investigation, so there was nothing wrong. That's not what that means, buddy. That doesn't mean you didn't do anything wrong. And by the way, nobody's saying you did anything wrong. We're saying you did something dishonest. You hid it from your audience, and you're being a cunt about it. Just say, yeah, we took Russian money. We didn't know. We weren't doing a show that was based on Russian propaganda or anything. But yeah, it turns out we did take that money. It happens. Instead of just going, well, they investigated and then they totally dropped the investigation, so we didn't do anything wrong. That's not what that means. When Adam Conover can call you out on something, you look shitty. You just do. I don't know if this one's true, but Katy Perry is apparently not welcome in Vegas after her complete failure of a residency. Lost the hotel she was performing at money. Apparently, Resorts World is saying that the residency Katy Perry did lost them money. Now, I have recently seen that there was a Twitter note on this that Resorts World is now denying those accusations. Data shows that Katy Perry's play is one of the most celebrated residencies in Vegas history, grossing close to $50 million, and is responsible for 47% of Resort World's revenue in 2023. They even gave her a key to the city and called June 8th Katy Perry Day. I don't know who's right. There's articles being written that Katy Perry's persona non grata, that, you know, her residency didn't make enough money and everyone's really disappointed about it. I don't know who to believe. How much did Katy Perry make in Vegas? Okay, Katy Perry reportedly earned $168 million from her Las Vegas residency at Resort World. What did they say? They said that she brought in $60 million worth of revenue for Resorts World. Well, in that case, it was a colossal failure. She lost them a shitload of money. If she made $168 million and the casino saying that they only made, how much was it? It grossed, not net, it grossed close to $50 million. I don't know if you guys are good at math or not. Maybe you can help me out here. If you get paid $168 million and they generate $50 million in revenue, that's Snow White bad, as far as I'm concerned. And look, I don't hate Katy Perry. I know a lot of people don't like her. I don't hate Katy Perry. I don't have anything against Katy Perry. But, like, that's horseshit. If you get paid that much money and you generate $50 million in revenue, the math ain't mathing on that one. She's catching a lot of shit, though. Like, it is kind of like rain on Katy Perry's parade at the moment. Because, like, she did the astronaut thing. So now the meme is all over the place of, you know, Katy Perry did this. Now she thinks she's this and blah, blah, blah. It's like, I didn't have a problem with her going into space. You know, I didn't have a problem with that whole thing. She never really went into wherever she went. I didn't have a problem with her going there. I didn't think she committed any great sin. But, you know, if you get paid for a gig and you lose them a shitload of money, yeah, they're probably not going to have you back. Leah says she's not Britney. Britney raked in money for Vegas. Yeah, Dub says, and for her parents. Well, that's true, too. Britney raised a lot of money for mom and dad. I don't know. That's another thing, too. I think Britney Spears' parents get a lot of shit for no reason. They saved her daughter's money. She was almost broke, and they built it up to a $60 million empire again. She was down to like her last $4 million. Her dad took that, turned it into 60. And I don't know. Now that she's got control of her money again, I don't know how far that $60 million is going. But it ain't. She doesn't look like she's really working on the, you know, profit creation, so to speak. 09 Canyon says, how long can Katy Perry do the quirky girl thing? Going to have to reinvent herself. I think she's just kind of riding that into the ground. Isn't she a parent now? Like, she's just, you know, that's just who Katy Perry is. Did you see the Antonio Brown news? Boy, he's staying active in his retirement. He was detained briefly in Miami after a viral video of a fight was posted online. Apparently, it was a boxing event hosted by Aiden Ross, and Antonio Brown was there. He was attending the boxing event Friday night when several people allegedly tried to rob him. He said, I was jumped by multiple individuals who tried to steal my jewelry and cause physical harm to me. In another video, Brown was seen apparently holding a black pistol as he pursued someone. Shots could be heard off camera shortly thereafter, but his social media post did not mention the gunshots. Brown says he was temporarily detained and then released without being arrested. He said he'll be speaking with his attorney. Police questioned several people but made no arrests. So, according to Antonio Brown, a bunch of people tried to rob him because he's wearing a shitload of jewelry, which is a fucking sign around your neck that says, stick me up. He pulled out a gun. He pursued them. Nobody got robbed. Nobody got shot. Nothing happened. But it doesn't sound like he's out of the woods. I mean, are you allowed to brandish if they're coming for your chains? I feel like it might be one of those situations where you can. Where was this? It was in Florida? Oh, yeah. Oh, well, he's fine. Why didn't you say so? I mean, if he's in Florida, it's totally okay to pull a gun on somebody and almost blow their fucking head off. I thought he was somewhere where they had rules. You know, we've had a very good night tonight. We've only got a couple of minutes left. I think it's awesome that we haven't done any kind of gossipy talk tonight. But Josh from Kiwi Farms did announce on his show last week that it sounds like he's going to have that arrest body cam footage in the next couple of weeks here. He said that a very interested party is helping him in acquiring the body cam footage. I thought that was very interesting. You know, you can lie, you can obfuscate, and you can run from the truth, and you can pick very carefully curated messages and only show the world the things you want to show them. But you can't run from the truth, you son of a bitch. And when that body cam footage comes out, it's going to be holy shit. I may hate Aaron, but he was fucking right about everything. Jesus Christ, was that guy smart to get the fuck out of there. Can we have a movie night to watch it together? I can promise you this. When that body cam footage goes out, there are certain parts of it that if I play it, I could end up in jail. So I'm certainly not fucking interested in that part. But I will play the parts that are allowed for me to play, and we will do a separate stream. It won't be part of a morning show or an evening show. We will do a show where we will go over that body cam footage. I'll kind of walk you through it because I know what you're going to see in it. I know things only got worse after I left due to the communiques that I got from people who were on the inside at the time. Things only got worse when I left. So I've told you what the state of the house was and everything else. It's going to be bad. It's going to be Schadenfreude to the max. That's for sure. So when Josh does get that, we'll do a separate stream. We'll go over it here on this channel. I'll try to dial down the Aaron fucking told you so, how dare you? But there will probably be a little bit of that in there. But no, I'm only going to play the parts that I'm allowed to play. I'll tell you this, the part of the body cam footage that I'm most excited to check out is the part where April apparently fucking snakes everybody. It was so bad that they tried to get her part of that body cam removed from any potential trial. And the prosecution was like, we don't give a shit. We're not going to use it anyway. This is a fucking open and shut case. We don't care. Fine, we're not going to use it. But everything that's part of it said that April made full confessions, implicated everybody. And that's a lot of the reason why her charges were initially dropped at first. And she was let go. I know when I was being interviewed, it was insinuated to me that April was an asset, that April was someone who was cooperating, and only after they realized that she'd gone back on that did the charges go back on her. So tick, 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 tick. I mean, Josh says he's going to have it. Now, a lot of people were trying to guess who the interested party was that's helping Josh get this body cam footage. Some people, a few people have insinuated it's me. There's nothing I can do to get this body cam footage. So it ain't me. There's nothing I can do. It would have to be one of the people who's in the body cam footage. So make your theories there. Or some people have argued that it could be the Law and Crime channel or EWA or whatever it is, the body cam channel on YouTube. Could be trying to help them get it. Here's the deal. Nick has lied a lot about the cops. Nick has lied a lot about CPS and the people who were in his home. So one of the things in Minnesota law, if it's in the public interest to dispel rumors or dispel lies, they can release the body cam footage. And certainly there's been enough of that. So Josh feels pretty confident that he's going to get the body cam footage. When he does, I will go over it off the air, and we'll do our own little stream about it so we can take our time, go through it. And again, that'll be a lot of Aaron Itotasos, to be fair. Do you guys want to go over tomorrow morning? Do you want to go over the Zumach clip? Because Zumach got an email. He claims he got an email from a friend of April's saying that Nick made her make up that shit that he put out there at Hackamania, and that Nick's been lying about stuff, that Nick took over April's Twitter when she was tweeting all that crazy, perverse shit. The only reason I hesitate is because I don't know if Chad actually got an email from anyone that knows her. All I know is I have gotten a similar message, so it makes me kind of believe him. So I'm not really sure, but it does make Nick look like a complete psychopathic, control freak, narcissistic, crazy person. I mean, it's pretty fucking wild. Coyote NV with $1.99 says they should make jewelry harder to steal. Buffalo Jockey with $1 says the brown fella, lucky he held it sideways and missed. Yeah. All right, man. We will be back tomorrow morning. Thank you guys so much. In about a half hour, our Johnny Somali coverage from this morning is going to premiere on the channel. My Lost Interest says Chad wouldn't lie. That's very, very, very funny. All right, guys. You guys made about $40 for Johnny. I'm going to Venmo that to Johnny tonight. $40 from you guys. Thank you so much for your generosity. We will talk to you again at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Take it easy.